The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
We are live from the uStadium Charity Golf Classic with former Jet great CJ Mosley. CJ, you're starting us off on our show. And, man, can I just say what I told you off air? We miss you, man. Are you available to play linebacker on Monday night? Because, my God, does this defense miss CJ Mosley.
I'm not available, unfortunately. But, hopefully we can bounce back. It was a tough loss. A lot of adversity in that game. I did a good job fighting back. Most of the games I won and lost in the last 2 minutes of the game. So just hopefully we can find a way to finish this week.
What is it like to kind of be a fan now, right? As a retired player, you know so many of the guys that are still on this team, especially on that side of the ball. What has it been like these first 3 weeks to actually be watching the Jets as someone who knows everything going on, but you're not actually on the team?
Yeah, well, while I was playing, if we had an off day or a team was playing, I would kind of watch, as a fan, I would kind of watch to, see what the offense is doing. And, the first 2 weeks I've been actually at the football game. So I was at the season opener for the Jets. The second week I was at the Ravens game. So I went back into it as a real fan, and I kind of watched it the same way, but it's definitely different. It felt like I was injured and just watching it from the sideline, which I didn't like that feeling. So, but it was cool though. But I definitely don't miss the physicality, just waking up sore, waking up stressed from the loss, or did I mess up, or how did I play? Like all those different things you don't really think about in the moment. But now that, I'm not in it and still feeling those emotions, like, wow, it was really getting to me. Like it really takes a toll on you after a while.
CJ Mosley is our guest here. We are live from the uStadium Charity Classic in Westchester. We're at Harrison Meadows Country Club. And what I have right here, as Maniacs, is a signed CJ Mosley helmet. And what we're going to do throughout the show today is take raffle entries, a.k.a. gifted memberships, and we are going to take your super chats, and the proceeds will go to the Tunnel of Towers. You'll get a raffle ticket, and we will raffle away a signed CJ helmet at the end of the stream here. For you, how did you know it was the right time to walk away? You played, over 10 years in the league. It wasn't that long ago. You were still one of the better players at your position in the league. So for you, how did you know it was the right time to walk away?
Well, leading up to this past year, I had a year left on my contract. So, just where I was in my career, understanding, where we were as a team, just overall, the way the season was going. I definitely wanted to finish my last year with the Jets, especially, with my teammates and all the stuff we've been through. But outside of the injury, if I wasn't with the Jets, I was going to look to at least play one more year, just finish out another year. But, with the neck injury, that really took into effect, what I had to, sacrifice to try to get back, and the neck just never got better. So it just, honestly, for me, it made my decision easier. Like you said, like how do I feel now watching games? If there's any itch or any thought of me wanting to play, my neck keeps me humble. So it's I'm good. It's not life-threatening anything, but if I step out on the field, I wouldn't be the same football player at this current state.
Is it interesting when you look back at your career that you basically played the same amount of years with both the Ravens and the Jets? So when people come up to you, maybe it depends on where you are. We're in New York right now. They associate you with the Jets, but do people associate you more with Baltimore or with New York?
Yeah, it's definitely based on location. But I definitely get the best of both worlds. I'm very fortunate, with my career, being healthy for the most part. Obviously being one of the better players in the league at my position. But I went to two teams that had great fan bases. They showed great loyalty. Through the wins and losses, I was a player that tried to do the right things on and off the field. And I would say, my time in Baltimore was great, but, my time in New York meant just as much to me for my personal career. I was able to do a lot of things. I was able to accomplish a lot of things on and off the field. And I definitely feel like I've grown way more, off the field into, the person I want to be, especially being up here in New York. So, the love is mutual if you're talking to me, but I definitely love both sides of the fan base when it comes to Baltimore and New York.
The passion of the Jet fan base, despite how long this playoff drought continues to be, how long it's been since a winning season. Is that something that you as a player, you would feel just how connected the Jet fan is to the team?
That's what makes you play harder. Obviously you play for your teammates, you play for the calls and all those things. But when you go to those games, you see the fans there early. You feel the love before the games. You feel the love after the game. You feel their hype, their emotions. You feel their hatred. You feel their passion. You feel all that means something. So every time I step on the field and represent my team, my town, the state, whatever it is, it's always for my teammates and always for the fan base. And the Jets, if not any other team, they deserve to win some games. The perfect example, 22, 23, whichever one that year when we had like that 4-game win streak, and it felt like
6-3 instead of 4.
Like I was like, yes, I felt it. Like I felt it. And it was a great feeling. So unfortunately, we couldn't keep it going.
It really is amazing. And that year in particular, it really felt like after that slow start defensively, like after that Bengals game, you guys really put it together. And for the next couple seasons, you guys are one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
And when you think back to your time with the Jets, their game or play that you made or just a memory, honestly, one of my memories of your career is your first game with the Jets. You were Lawrence Taylor for the first 3 quarters until you unfortunately dealt with that injury against Buffalo.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest highlight. I could probably think of a few more, but it was just so many. We had to go through so much and endure so much, especially just from the media, then just weekly dealing with the ups and downs of the season. That when you just got that little taste of victory or those few stretches or those few weeks of just things going right, and you just felt like, all right, this is what it's supposed to be like. You really try to cherish that and try to hone in on it. So hopefully this year the team can get to that place and understand what it takes to win, understand what it takes to not make mistakes in certain situations, and just be accountable and be that team that can get the job done. And once they find the pieces to the puzzle within this new setup, man, the sky's the limit.
There are 2 players on this Jets team that play linebacker that have openly said a bunch of different times that your influence on them has helped them be the player that they have now become, and that's Quincy Williams and Jamie Sherwood.
Mm-hmm.
Why was it so important to you when you were playing for the Jets or the Ravens to be a mentor to those guys? Because they've said it. They would not be where they are without your help.
Well, I give all the credit to my mentors, and we call them my OGs. I know these days the kids call it big bros and all that, but in college at Alabama, I had players that I looked up to, and they showed me the rope. They showed me the right way to do things. When I got to the Baltimore Ravens, I had the same type of veterans and future Hall of Famers teaching me the ropes, how to take care of my body off the field, how to study, what things to look at. So between me just playing and learning on my own, but also following before I was a leader, and I was just taking little bits and pieces of the blueprint from players that I looked up to and played with. And I wanted to be that same person as I got towards the end of my career, making sure I gave everything back that I learned. So that's what it's all about.
Have you thought about the fact that, Jamie Sherwood maybe is not the player he now is, doesn't get the contract he now gets? If you unfortunately don't suffer an injury last year, he steps in, does a great job, and he's voted team MVP. Like your connection to Sherwood, he's got to share some of that contract with you, CJ. I think you're totally right.
No, he earned all that. I can tell him everything to do and help him out as much as he can, but he has to go out there and produce and be the productive. He has to go out there and be the leader that he is. So all that is credit to him and his focus. But yeah, he's a great learner. He's a passionate player, a great leader. Same with Quincy. So yeah, it was unfortunate with his shoulder injury because he was definitely balling out that game. But those 2 guys are very important to me. And like I said, I wouldn't be the player I am with unless I had young players like those 2 guys and countless numbers of players on that team. Just watching them come up from their rookie year, now they're on their second contract. So half that team, I watched them grow up. So it's definitely that for me, that's cool to see.
We're talking with CJ Mosley. We are live from the uStadium Charity Golf Classic here in Westchester, Harrison, New York. We have a signed CJ Mosley helmet that CJ was nice enough to sign for us. We'll raffle that away. All the proceeds are going to go towards Tunnel to Towers, which helps victims of 9/11, their families out. So if you are interested in winning that signed helmet or want to support Tunnel to Towers, make sure you get the channel memberships and send in super chats. The current Jet defense, CJ, it's a new scheme, but we thought as fans, hey, 8 of the 11 starters from a year ago, they're back. I mean, it might take a little while to click, but
Mhm.
they should still be a strength. What have you seen the first 3 weeks defensively that the Jets defense is, on pace right now to allow a franchise record in points through the first 3 games?
It's always going to come down to, one, stopping the run game. If you can't control the run, it's going to be very hard to stop a good offense, especially an elite offense. Two, I would say, getting off the field on third down. Those two things are our defense kryptonite. It was situations where, they got offense in good third down, third and longs, or was in a position to get off the field to get the ball back to the offense so they can score, or whatever the situation was. But just been either timely mistakes, timely penalties, or not stopping the run. And no matter what scheme you're in, no matter who's on the team or who's in the position, who's coaching it, you can't do those three things consistently: stop the run, get off the field, and not cause silly penalties. That's going to affect the defense all the time.
Is the scheme that much different from what the scheme was with Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich from what you've seen? Like how much of the struggles is, hey, it is just a new scheme and it is just naturally going to take time?
Since I'm not in the building, I don't know how much the scheme has changed, but there's always going to be different coaching techniques, and maybe like for the most part the defense and what you're doing is the same, but the way it's taught or maybe being in a certain spot, like one little thing can slow a player down. So that comes with a task on time, like you said, with the new scheme. So hopefully sooner or later it looks crisp. But at the end of the day, I think just that when you switch over after being with the defense, 4 to 5 years, it's definitely going to take a little bit. But for the most part, like I said, you can control the three things that you can control: stopping the run, getting off the field, no silly penalties. Then you should be good.
So Eric Glenn this week, I don't know if you saw the quote. He embarked the infamous "same old Jets" line. He said, "We're not the same old Jets," but Jet fans are looking at it like, "What do you mean we're not? We lost 2 games with the lead and under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The team sitting at 0-3." It felt like he was trying to maybe send a message to the locker room, to the players, like, "Hey, let's we're not the same. We're different." What did you make of those comments as someone who lived it and had to hear, "Oh, same old Jets" when you were a player?
It's a mentality for sure, because you feel it, you hear it. When you look at the record, it makes you think about it. But when you go to work and you get on the field and put your helmet on, it's up to you.
Did you believe you guys were going to win every game you played?
Yeah, I mean, why the hell am I on the field then? whether we didn't have the roster or not. I mean, look at our what year I get here, 19 roster. We had some great players. Look at our 21 roster. We have some great players. Every year we got, every team's going to have great players, but it's going to be about execution. It's going to be about the teams that's going to make the least mistakes. Like I said, getting off the field, turnovers, all those little things matter. So everybody starts off the same with the best players, top picks, all Americans, all pros. Every team's going to have that, but it's going to come down to certain intangibles, and it's going to come down to doing things the right way more times than not than the other team to win the football game.
From afar, because I know you're not in the building, what have been your impressions on Aaron Glenn and the fact that he was a Jet? It feels like it is personal to him, this type of job. What have been some of your impressions watching him?
So before I got released, I didn't meet Coach. Actually, I did meet Coach Glenn in person, because when we was doing the interview process, I was still in the building. So I talked to him briefly, shook his hand. Then kind of after, like, I knew I was going to get released, I talked to him a little bit then. So definitely respect him a lot. I've seen him from afar, seen his defenses fly around the field. So it definitely would have been fun and exciting to get coached by him. But he seems like a very passionate coach / player. Obviously, somebody that you're looking up to, that's played in your position. You kind of have a certain respect for. So it's like you said, it's early. So hopefully, based off his what he's saying, like, he's not scared to lose a game and hear the talk, because like I said, it's all about your mentality. So hopefully the guys are buying into what he's saying, and just got to keep the head up and keep producing.
It sounds like your meeting with Coach Glenn about being released went a lot differently than Aaron Rodgers' meeting with Aaron Glenn, based on what he said.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You stay in touch with Aaron at all? I know you guys were very close.
No, I mean, I talked to him. When was it? I shot him a text, but nothing, no phone calls, anything like that. He's a busy man. He got a lot going on, so definitely wish him the best. I mean, I really expect him to have a great year. He missed 2 years pretty much with the injury, so that can throw off your timing as far as steps and little things like that. So him having a full year on his belt, kind of got the cobwebs from his feet. He did look good against us week 1. So I mean,
Which you knew was going to happen.
Yeah, I
I
wasn't
can speak as a
surprised.
Jet fan. Like
Yeah,
that's what we deal with
but
as Jet fans.
yeah, I think he's going to have a great year. It's not my first time saying that. Because I got hurt at 19 and opted out in 20. That's 2 years of missed football. I came back in 21. Like statistically, I have one of my better careers. But when I base my tape from the 21 to the 22 year, like certain things, like a couple steps were slow, a couple reads were a little bit slow. My position might have been out of whack. So just that time away from ball, that kind of just sets you back far as your just mechanics. But as far as physical part, like we can do that any day. So I think for him to kind of get that 1 year out of the way where he kind of get all the rust off, now he's back to what he's been doing.
What were your thoughts as someone who was there when they were drafted and won Rookie of the Year awards together? What were your thoughts on the Jets signing both Garrett and Sauce long term?
I think it's a great move. I mean, to keep a franchise going, you want to try to keep the best players around and, kind of keep that core group together. So, that's the MO to, the successful team that's, continue to, end up in the same spot or have a fighting chance for the playoffs. Just doing their best to keep the core group together, having a strong special teams group and, the people that just that next generational type talent, you lock those guys down and build around them. So, hopefully that's the case.
What's the next step for a guy like Sauce in his career? Because you played with some really good corners in your play career. What's the next step for him to continue to be one of the best at his position?
I mean, just every day has to grow. He's a young player, very talented. So the first thing is always going to be his leadership growth, especially him being out on that island, him being the type of talent he is, the type of presence that he presents. Eyes are always going to be on him. So he's going to have some decisions to make as he get older in his life and in his football career, whether it's good or bad. So hopefully, every decision that he does make is the right one. And obviously just staying consistent on the field. He could be the next island. So that can be a big thing for him.
Is it a big deal that Garrett Wilson is now a captain? He was voted captain by his teammates. What do you think of that?
It shows growth. Like you said, when I was here, I watched all these guys come in as rookies, and they're earning their stripes, and everybody that's earned their stripe and earned their second contract, and they, like I said, they earned it. And for me, I just feel proud because not only that, I was there to watch them, but also, maybe one thing I told them or just watching me work or anything like that might have helped them. So it's when one win, we all win at the end of the day.
CJ Mosley is our guest. A couple minutes left. Some listener questions for CJ, and a reminder for those of you watching live, if you want to support Tunnel to Towers, we have right here a signed CJ Mosley helmet that we will raffle away to a listener at the end of the stream. Eli just goes, "You're very missed, CJ." King of Dreams says, "CJ, enjoy retirement." Ryan wants to know, do you still keep in touch with any of the current Jets linebackers, and how can they improve their game and take it to the next level?
Yeah, great question. That was Ryan.
That's Ryan. Yep.
Yeah. So actually, before the Buccaneers game, I was flying back to New Jersey. I was on Instagram. I saw John Gruden, Coach Gruden, on the little Boss Dudes thing, and he was getting after the defense. He was talking about the tape from the Bills week, and I didn't watch much of that game because I was out of town. But
you're lucky.
But
it was bad.
But it pissed me off hearing him talk about the defense because I was like, nah, that ain't our guy. So before the game Sunday, this past Sunday, I had FaceTime Jamie and then Quincy just to make sure that mental was right because to 0-2, coming off any loss against the Bills is always physical and tough. So I just wanted to make sure that their hairs were clear before the game because if I'm not playing and retired and got pissed off, I know how they feel. So they said had a good week of practice and they were ready for the game. And to me, they balled out. They was playing physical. They was moving around. And we talked about it earlier. It was unfortunate, Quincy hurt his shoulder, but he was flying around too. So for those two guys specifically, I always watch their leadership when times kind of get tough in the game, and also just seeing where their eyes are, seeing if they getting off the blocks, seeing if they're physical, seeing if they're running. So all the things that make you a great linebacker.
So a couple people have asked this question: how come you're not coaching? Because it just feels like you'd be a natural coach at really anything in the NFL.
Yeah, well, it's easy to coach when you can be sitting from here and watching TV, but you got to put in 30+ hours. I prided myself in watching film as a player, and I was up at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night texting my coaches and them telling me to go to bed. So how do you think the coaches feel when they up to 1 o'clock, they're still in the building. So for me to retire and then get right back into that life, I didn't want to do that. But my sports agency, I started Legacy Trust Sports.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's my version of coaching. I still hold the mentor role, the leadership role. I've taken every step that these young athletes are about to take, starting from finding the agent, finding the right team, going through the draft process, going through the combines, rookie year, and so on and so forth. So for me, that's my version of coaching. Just making sure that they have the right people on their side, guiding them through these hard times on and off the field, and just being a teammate to them.
How crazy is the NIL world that you're kind of in as you're trying to represent some
Yeah,
of these guys?
it's crazy. We started first day started June 1, self-funded. Me and my business partner, we put the team together. We got a great roster. But yeah, you learn quickly that as they say, it's the wild, wild west. Anybody can represent these players. So you never know, who's in it for the player or who's in it for themselves. So for us, it's one thing. Obviously, like I said, I've taken those steps, and I know exactly what you're about to go through and what you're going through now. So I'm a trusted face that they can talk to, but also, just want to put the right people around them so they can focus on what they need to.
This question is from Bo. He wants to know, how many wins do you see in the Jets' future? When is this team going to end this playoff drought? When can we finally have happiness as Jet fans again?
Well, to make the answer easy, hopefully this year. Usually, I guess it's going to take at least 9 wins to,
It's weird year. See, one of the Chiefs or the Ravens are about to be 1-3.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get a win early then, right? So yeah, at least going to lead at least 9 wins, I would say, to have a fighting chance. So yeah, minimum 9, and hopefully we break that drought this year.
Final question for you. We're here, of course, raising money for Tunnel to Towers. Why is this a cause that you wanted to be involved with uStadium?
Yes. Well, first of all, 2 great, charities. uStadium always hosting great events to, bring people closer. They do a great job on their social media. Since I follow them, every day they showing something interesting. So they do a great job of keeping everybody connected. And for Tunnel to Towers Foundation, their cause and their why, to help, first responders, families, anything to make this world better and to provide for people. And that's, that's the way that I was raised, and that's the way that I play. I play for my family, I play for my town, I play for my team, but I'm also here to serve. So, two great, causes coming together for one greater thing. And, we're here just to rejoice, celebrate, have fun, but obviously, we're here to raise, not only money, but just raise awareness and, just, celebrate each other, celebrate life. So, anytime we can get together and do those things and represent the Jets is great.
That's right. Now, you guys played on September 11th a couple times when you were with the Jets.
Yes.
The most famous game is Aaron's first game, of course,
Yeah.
but you won the game. And, it was just, I was at the game that night. It was the greatest environment I've ever been at, forget just being a Jet fan, just like any of the teams I root for. You played in that game. What do you remember about that night and Aaron coming out with the flag and just the craziness of that win?
What an emotional night, draining night. The beginning of that game, I definitely was just, I took myself out of the football player, and I just enjoyed that moment. Even before Aaron came out, the lights show, and I was just staring around. If I was able to have my phone out before the game, I would have, but it was an electric atmosphere. And that's what this city's about, man. If we can put some wins together and
that's what this
be a
base
contender, like having the city, the state, New York, New Jersey, all just having that type of environment behind us, it's a great thing. So, like I said, man, if the fans deserve it, the players deserve it. Being in our locker room, we go through a lot, and sometimes it gets tough because you're like, damn, we did everything. Like, what else is there to do? Like, I said everything I could, and you still fall short sometimes. But even though that's tough, you still got to get up and keep working, and that's just what you got to do.
Thanks for doing this. Always great to get you on the show.
Yes, sir.
I know you're not golfing today, so you'll be hanging out with all of us.
Hanging out and conversating.
I love it. He's CJ Mosley, former Jet great. Reminder, we're raising money for this helmet that CJ was nice enough to sign. It goes to the Tunnel of Towers Foundation. We'll take a quick break. We'll continue with our show. We'll have some special guests joining us throughout the morning. Right now, though, a recap of our trip last week to Tampa Bay.
Down in Tampa where the sun beats down, Jake Asman's a king wearing his birthday crown. Fireman Ed's got the chanting his alarms. And Earl Christie's here where the legends are sung. We may not win, but we'll make it right. Green and white storm in the floor tonight. As maniacs unite, let's paint this town from the bay to the sky. We'll never back down. Rick and Dave steal the show. Hearts on fire, 4%ers bring the heat, lifting us higher. Tampa's turning green tonight as maniacs unite. Tailgates roar, the beer flows cold. Stories of battles both new and old. The Jets might stumble, but we'll stand tall. In this wild green army, we answer the call. The stadium's loud, the flags take flight. We're here to party, not just for the fight. As maniacs unite, let's paint this town from the bay to the sky. We'll never back down. Rick and Dave steal the show. Hearts on fire, 4%ers bring the heat, lifting us higher. Tampa's turning green tonight as maniacs unite. Town from the bay to the sky, we'll never back down. Rick and Dave steal the show. Hearts on fire, 4%ers bring the heat, lifting us higher. Tampa's turning green tonight as maniacs unite.
Is there any truth to the rumor you're having Knoble on your show?
Maybe.
Who the fuck do you think you are, Charles? I'm the Knobly, and I'm playing for the Jets next year. You better get used to it, motherfucker, because I'm coming to get you.
Did you see the interview we did with Knoble yesterday when he called in?
No, I did not.
I'm just kidding, Charles. I love you, man. You're the greatest. I just want to be your friend, okay? So please do my friend. Motherfucker!
All right. Charles, thank you for the time today. Last night on a radio station in this town known as The Fan, WFAN, Keith McPherson took a call from Bobby Midnight, who wanted to ask some questions about Knoble.
All right, let's go back to Bob in Vermont.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think the Jets and Giants will do on the draft, your choices? And also, do you ever hear of a player from college called Knoble?
Knoble? From what school?
College.
Yeah, but what college?
It's just college. Do you ever hear that guy's name?
No, I've never heard of Knoble from college.
Knoble.
Knoble from college? What position does he play?
He plays offense and defense.
He plays offense and defense? He's a two-way guy?
Yep, that's what he said.
How do you spell the last name?
Knoble. I can't remember how you spell it. It starts with K, I know that.
Okay, because I'm spelling it wrong on Google.
No, Knoble.
Thanks for the call, Bob. I do not know who Knoble is. Maybe somebody listening knows of a player, a two-way player coming out of college that gives you like 300 options. I'm looking at Zoo. He's just laughing. I'm trying to find out. A two-way player plays offense and defense. Knoble is coming.
Do you ever hear of Knoble?
There were two listeners of mine who called WFAN asking two separate hosts if the Jets should take Knoble, and each host was like, just they were stumped. They're like, I haven't done enough draft prep. I'm unaware, and they're reciting lines from the show.
John and Seaford, what's up, bud?
A lot of these Jets fans out there want Brock Bowers.
Yes, that is the sexy name surrounding the Jets.
I think the three options you go, O-line, receiver, or if Knoble out of college is there, you got to take Knoble. 5'7", 198, plays both sides of the ball. Not sure if you know him. Mel Kiper had him top 15 pick. What are your thoughts on Knoble?
I don't know him that well. I'll be totally honest with you. Bro, I got to do more draft prep. You said he plays both sides of the ball. Makes me think, who plays both sides of the ball in the NFL?
We now have Knoble's testing numbers. There's a reason why Knoble has skyrocketed off the draft boards here. He has tremendous testing numbers. It's tremendous. The only knock on Knoble is he's 5'7", 198. But he's a two-way player. He can play both sides of the ball. And if you were listening to WFAN last night, it was Rob from Glenhead, not Johnny Quest impersonating Rob from Glenhead, called in to ask FAN host Keith McPherson if the Jets should consider this Knoble guy.
Let's go to Rob in Glenhead first up on the fan.
Well, yeah, I'm out right now with my friend Neil Chipotle, just chilling out, talking Jets, smoking cigars. I was listening yesterday to your show. The guy Bobby from Vermont called up about this guy Knoble. Yeah, I think I found out who he was talking about.
Okay, what college? What school?
I didn't get that, but there was an NFL Network did a spotlight on him. Neil, look up the college this kid went to. So it's pronounced Knoble when he was in an island, but then they changed to Knoble when he came over. They were talking about. I think his brother was a 7th round pick in like 2022. Dude, the kid. Listen, I don't know if he's going to go in the first round, but he plays receiver and nickel corner. His stats are crazy.
Do you know how to spell his last name? I have not heard of this kid.
Knoble. Neil, look it up. I can't spell his name. 40-yard dash, 4.3. Cone drill, 6.41. I don't even know if that's good. You know, you're an athlete. Is that good?
I guess 6.41. It could be faster.
Vertical, 47.
No, that's ridiculous.
The fact is this: if you're getting a receiver and a nickel, if he plays receiver, we need a receiver, right? Because Lazard's terrible. And if he's nickel corner, we have Michael Carter, who I think is going to be a free agent next year. You can't afford him, so you replace him.
I don't know, but that's what confused me yesterday. We're talking about a two-way player getting drafted and expected to play both ways?
Yeah, dude, I never heard of it, so I saw it on the NFL Network, and then when Bobby was talking about it, I'm like, that sounds familiar. I looked it up. The crazy thing, he's from like some small island near Hawaii. They have like 350 kids. It was like 13 kids on his high school team. That's why he went both ways. I know most times in New York and New Jersey, everyone goes both ways.
In high school, yeah, but in college, that's why I'm like, I haven't been watching NFL Network.
If they can get this kid in the first, I don't think he's going to fall to 10, and maybe the Giants, maybe the Cowboys get him. Where the Cowboys pick him?
24, they're cooked.
He'll probably be gone by then.
Do you know the spelling of his name?
Oh, Neil, you got that name?
Yeah, here
all
it
right.
is.
Yep.
K-A-N-O. B-L-E. I'm going to hang up and listen, Keith. Be good, all right?
Yeah, thanks for the call. So we were talking last night. Yeah, Bob from Vermont called in, was talking about this kid, and I never heard of him. K-A-N-O-B-L-E NFL draft? Nah, you guys got to be trolling me. This is like the tale of like, I don't know, like a Bigfoot or something. Like this is a two-way player that plays wide receiver, nickel corner. He's got a 47-inch vertical. I haven't heard of the guy, but I don't think two different calls would call about this Knoble guy.
How did you hold it together, man?
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.
We are back at the uStadium Charity Classic, and I apologize in advance to have to go from CJ Mosley, Jet great, beloved player, to this guy, Frankie V. Frankie V from uStadium here. Let me start with this. Thanks for inviting our show to be a part of this, raising money for an unbelievable cause, and the turnout. You guys have like 80-something golfers that are participating today, so congrats to you and uStadium on that.
Jake, thanks so much. Appreciate you. You always supported us in this process, putting this together. You did things posting and promoting this that we didn't even ask for. So I really do appreciate it. Thanks a bunch, man.
Well, it's a great cause. And, obviously, if we're in the New York area, everyone's aware of what Tunnel to Towers does. I do want to remind people for tuning in, CJ was nice enough to sign this helmet for us here. Sweet. So we're going to raffle it away at the end of the stream to anyone who sends in a super chat or sends in a gifted membership. It will go towards that. Plus, I know a couple people asked in the chat. It also does, of course, go towards our weekly raffle, which is every Tuesday on the first show. We're giving away a signed Sack Exchange jersey, signed Bart Scott jersey, and we got another CJ item, a signed CJ Mosley jersey. So gift away for your chance. And thank you to everyone who sent me a Venmo. So YouTube doesn't take a cut. We'll take 100%
That's the way to do it.
of the Venmos.
What's YouTube's cut now? What are they like?
They take
30%?
30%. Yeah. So we'll take
That's crazy.
100% of the Venmos and be able to donate it right to Tunnel
There
of
you go.
Towers, which is awesome. But that's the the positive stuff, the community coming together. Now we talk about the negative stuff. The New York Jets. 0-3, Tanky V. Are we in tank mode yet? How are we feeling?
Oh man. I mean, listen, this week is Monday night's a very important game because if you go 0-4, the season's basically over in terms of your ability to make the playoffs. You can start 0-3 and make the playoffs. It's a long shot, but 0-4, you could basically put a fork in us in terms of playoff aspirations. It's very difficult to come back from 0-4. It
might be honestly too much at 0-3, but
yeah, 0-3 we're already talking, and I hate to start with this, but 0-3 we're already at like a 3%-ish chance. Now, a lot of those stats about
60 games,
yeah, 165 teams since 1994 that started 0-3 have made the playoffs, but that was in a 16-game schedule. There was a team as recent as
2018 Texans.
Yes.
I only know that because I was covering them when I was in Houston.
Exactly.
You know
so it's possible. It's not impossible.
The AFC is kind of weird right now. You have
It is.
an 0-3 Texans team. You have either the Chiefs or the Ravens at the end of this week. One of them is going to be 1-3. So I didn't expect a playoff season, but I don't want the season to be over before September. I mean, if they lose Monday night, they're 0-4 and the season's effectively done in September. And this is now the fourth time in the last 7 years they started 0-3. So, Aaron Glenn says we're not the same old Jets. Okay, well, win games. And you're now playing a team in your weight class. This is a must win on Monday night.
It is, man. It is. And I was just speaking with somebody before about this. I think that first game, right, playing Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, having the chance to win that game, and because of one play, basically Xavier Gibson, you lose that game. Now look at last week. You can point at that pick six before the half. One play loses you that game. To be honest, I don't think this Jets team is as bad as people think they are, and that's coming from me. I don't think they're devoid of talent. I don't think that they're not able to put together a winning program with the players they have, the players that they've invested in, the offensive linemen that we have up front, the defensive line, the secondary's got some talent, running backs, wide receivers. I mean, like, they have talent, man, this team. They just can never put it all together. If there's a weakness to be exposed, a team will expose it. If there's a mistake to be had, we'll make the mistake and it'll cost us a game. They have to bring everything together. What I want to see on Monday night, what I want to see throughout the course of the season is Aaron Glenn able to have these guys finish football games, not have costly mistakes late? Or if you have a deficiency defensively, let's say your safeties are getting torched in coverage, are you able to put something together that doesn't expose them like what happened against the Bucs, where, shocker, the last drive of the game, 2-minute drill, they just did basically whatever they wanted with no real pressure.
Four plays.
Too easy.
And
It can't be that easy.
And it ruins one of the great plays you'll ever see from anyone. Will McDonald's play should go down as one of the greatest plays in Jet history, and it's going to be a footnote because they lost the game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's an incredible play. And that's a play, Jake, that you can look back on throughout the year and say, this is why we're able to come back and win games. It only takes a winner.
It could have been like the Browns win in 2022 when they stole that one. They had this like dramatic, come from behind win. They get the onside kick, Flacco to Garrett Wilson, and then it kind of got them going a little bit. They ended up starting 6-3 that year. Like, that was the game to steal. Like, they probably should have won week 1. They had no chance in week 2. They didn't play well in week 3, but they could have stole it. So it's like, you have to win games. I mean, that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah. And I'll say this, Aaron Glenn got dealt a tough card with these first 3 games due to the coaches that he's playing up against, right? You have Mike Tomlin, Sean McDermott, and then Todd Bowles, all 3 veterans. I mean, how many years coaching combined are those 3 guys been in the league for? So the fact that we were in game 1 and we could have won last week's game 3, even though it didn't seem like we were ever really in the game, we were winning with less than 2 minutes left. So there's something, I think, with this team and Glenn that they have to unlock. And I think Monday night is the night to really put it all together, come out with a win, get some confidence in there. And then you really never know what can happen. So Monday night's big. I mean, Miami's potentially about to fall off a cliff. So they're at the ledge at this point. So I'm curious really how they're going to come out and then what kind of game plan they're going to have offensively and, more importantly, defensively. That defense is way too vanilla for me, man. I don't like it at all.
So we're live right now. It's 11:18 a.m. Eastern time. Aaron Glenn is supposed to speak at 11:45.
Ooh.
Do we get a Justin Fields has been cleared and he's the quarterback Monday night? What's your prediction?
I think so. And there should be no quarterback controversy at all. You play Justin Fields, no doubt about it. I looked at the all 22. Tyrod was not good. Okay, it is what it is. Was he terrible? No, but he was not good by any stretch of the imagination. Take out that fourth quarter, he was pretty bad for the most part, and bad in the sense of the guy was hurt all off season. He jumps into a new system. You're trying to get him to throw the ball down the field. He was overthinking. They were pressuring the hell out of him. The O-line was off and not really diagnosing what was going on. And that's a lot of times what happens. And if you look at Josh Myers, for example, a lot of the things that they didn't like about him in Green Bay was his inability sometimes to call out the pressures and get the offensive line shifting in the right way or getting their back to pick up a blitz. We saw that. We saw that a bunch this past weekend's game. So I'm curious to see how that O-line protects and if they're able to hold up. But Justin Fields has to play. And he gives you also that dynamic with the read option that helps Breece Hall do his thing. And the Jets really have to, not to get into it. Ryan's here and hates when I get into the
You're
off.
spoiling my guest already. Ryan Sampson from Bagsell
but
here.
he hates when I talk about the offseason. I think he's overlooking me like, you better not mention the offseason. But we got to see what Breece Hall has. Breece Hall is.
Well, this has to be a huge Breece game because the
does.
Dolphins defense allows 145 rushing yards per game. That's why if Fields is healthy, I know there's some Jet fans that say, play Tyrod. Nah, man, play Fields. Got to find out what he is anyway. It's only 2 games, one great one, one awful one. And this has got to be a Breece, Braylon Allen. Like, get this run game going, man. The identity of this team is supposed to be smash mouth football, and they've had one game where they've been that team so far.
Yeah, their defensive line is ranked 32nd against the run on PFF, 32nd against the pass, and overall 32nd. They have right now statistically one of the worst defensive lines in football. So, and they have talent on that Miami front. They have Kenneth Grant. They drafted 13th overall. Bradley Chubb's playing. So they have some guys up front, but there's no reason why, and this is why Justin Fields needs to play on Monday night. They need to run the hell out of the football. And that's what we knew coming in. I'm just a little bit concerned that we're not able to move the ball down the field and get guys like Mason Taylor needs to be involved in an offense that's moving the ball down the field. Garrett Wilson is only able to do so much, but you got to start moving the ball and at least testing these D-backs deep so that you can open things up underneath. It's too methodical at this point.
Well, I thought you had a great breakdown, and we played it on the show, and then YouTube flagged it because all 22 film is apparently major copyright violations. Don't get me started on that. But I did play it the other day. The amount of guys that were open that Tyrod just didn't find. And
it's crazy.
I mean, there were plays to be made in that game. The line wasn't great either, and they had no answer for the blitz that Bulls were sending on the left side. I get all that, but I mean, the first play of the game, Garrett's open. They're even on the pick six, Tyler Johnson's open in the middle of the field. There were plays to be made, and Tyrod, maybe it's rust. He hasn't started a full game in a while, but like, I'd rather go with Fields if he's healthy, man. I'm not saying he's great. He's probably not our long-term answer, but he gives them the best chance, I think, to win Monday.
Definitely. And listen, this has been a thing with Tyrod for forever since he's been in the NFL. Has overachieved in a lot of ways, but his whole knack is he holds onto the ball a little too long. He likes to be a little bit too conservative at times, and he's had a really good career for the most part, but we can't depend on Tyrod Taylor right now, especially considering we're looking to see if Justin Fields is a viable option potentially next year. I mean, say what you want. I don't think he is, but you got to at least try. So I think the one thing with this passing offense that I do look at, though, that I really like is if we're able to get really good quarterback play, I do think Tanner Engstrand is able to scheme up some really cool things. I don't know if you saw that one play where Arian Smith, Jake, was lined up on the outside and they're running a cover 2 and you have a safety there and Mason Taylor, or maybe, Tyler Johnson sort of trailing up the middle. If they're able to divvy in a little bit that receiver to kind of get the safety's attention, a good quarterback is able to make that throw over the corner's head into that whole spot, they call it. Tyrod wouldn't even try that throw. Like, there's no reason to try it. Bowles likes to run that cover 2, keep the corners up, playing that sort of flat line there. But if we get a good quarterback, they'll make that throw. 7 out of 10 times. They'll try it. We don't even get attempts like that. Like if you look at the All-22, I know Dylan comes on and you have Joe Blewett who does some good stuff with you. Actually, I saw his breakdown. There's throws to be had that are obvious. There's also throws to be had that are not obvious that really good quarterbacks make. Justin Herbert, for example, is making throws that you look at the All-22, you would say, oh, he's definitely covered. But no, he gets the ball to a back shoulder on the sideline that is not open, but with good quarterbacks, you throw your receivers open. We don't even have that. We never see that, Jake, and that's a big issue for me. And good quarterback play here with Tanner. Hopefully it happens before things shake up. We got to get a good quarterback here. Could be Justin Fields. Doubt it, but it could be. But getting a good quarterback here with Tanner, man, will be important. And then the defense is another conversation.
Frankie V is with us here, the co-founder of uStadium. We're at his event right now, folks. We're at the uStadium Charity Golf Classic. We're at Harrison Meadows Country Club here in Westchester. Frankie V got me to take the Metro North.
Ooh,
I very
how was that?
rarely take the Metro North. Honestly, it was great. The red seats kind of threw me off. I'm used to the Long Island Railroad, like the blue and the green seats. So that, or now like the newer ones have just the pure blue.
Yeah.
On Long
The
Island.
red seats are a little weird. It's like, I don't know where I'm going sitting in these things.
It felt a little odd.
Yeah.
But
I'm like scared to sit in them. You're like, wait, what's this thing taking me? Like,
but it was all good. And we're raising money for Tunnel to Towers today, which supports victims' families of September
thanks
11th.
to all your listeners, by the way, for
Yeah.
supporting or listening. We do appreciate it. This is the foundation we've been wanting to work with for a while, being from New York.
Amazing cause. We have this helmet here by CJ Mosley. For those just tuning in, he was nice enough to sign it before we had CJ on. So rewind to the first 25 minutes of the show if you want to listen back to my full conversation with him. If you donate a super chat, any level, could be $2 for all we care. We'll take that, and we will make sure the proceeds go towards Tunnel to Towers, and you qualify for a raffle ticket as well. Obviously, the more you donate super chat wise or membership wise, you get raffle tickets. So I want to shout out Luppy, who sent in 5, Ryan, who sent in 5, and how about the generosity here from Frank P. 20 gifted memberships. It's $100 right there.
Oh, great.
Towards Tunnel to Towers.
Thanks, everyone.
Austrian Jet fan sent in 5. The great, and I mean this, the great Rick Kent, who was with us in Tampa all weekend, sent in 20, so another $100 towards Tunnel to Towers. Austrian Jet fan in there. Jet Set Go with $20. That's 5. Bo with $5. Ryan with 5. Rick Kent with another 25. Eli with 5. Bo C with 5. Black Gypsy with 1. K&D with 5. Austrian Jet fan with 1. That's another 5. So thank you to everyone who continues to support not only this show, but supports our charitable endeavors. We were out at the Marty Lyons
nice.
golf tournament over the summer for his foundation.
Where was that, in Long Island?
Yeah, it was in what was the name of the golf course? I'm trying to remember. It was near Plainview and Farmingdale, but I forget the name of the course.
Yeah.
But we raised almost $1,000 that morning. Which
Wow,
was awesome.
really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
your community's great, man. You really are. You guys have a great fan base. Your listeners are passionate as hell. I know when I've come on and
they love you.
Dude,
I actually think you've grown on people, especially because Sauce has not been good the last 2 games. So people,
and I haven't said anything.
I was seeing some comments. Frankie V might have been onto something, but Sauce was good week 1. I don't think he was awful this past week. I think he graded out well, but like my eye test told me he wasn't that good. I need more from Sauce after they paid him.
Yeah. I'll say this. Listen, I could have easily pounced on Sauce and said, look at his PFF grade, which was the second lowest on the team. Listen, those throws were great plays by Baker and those receivers, right? Mike Evans had some catches that only Mike Evans makes. That Igbuka play on the sideline, that Sauce was covering on. Sometimes a better quarterback play beats better DB play. So it is what it is. Listen, I just want Sauce to make big plays that change games. That's all I want. We know what he could do covering in terms of coverage ability. We know he can cover a third of the field when he wants, but I want him to get in there and also be a little bit more of a rah-rah kind of leader for this team in the game. I'm saying, like, get guys motivated, get guys pumped. Listen, he's been part of teams that really just lose way too much, and it kind of sucks the energy out of everybody. So I'm curious to see if this team starts winning, how he'll sort of, be able to shine even further.
Couple super chats here. Bo C checking in. Thank you, Bo. It almost doesn't matter how much talent we have or put on the field. They can't bring home wins. Then they might as well suck or be called Knoble. Win, and then we'll evaluate talent. I mean, that to me is what's so frustrating, though, because people are like, oh, Jake, what did you expect? It's a new regime. I expected them to not be 0-3 for the 4th time in 7 years when a couple of years ago, I watched this team get off to a 4-3 start after they lost Aaron Rodgers on the 4th play of the season, and Zach Wilson was the worst quarterback in the league that year, and he was starting for them. Like, good coaching can overcome some of the issues the Jets have on this team. They're not a perfect roster. There's been some injuries. I get it. But defensively, I have been so disappointed in what we have seen. I don't know. And I was talking to CJ about this. He says, look, you can't just blame the scheme. It's on the players. I get all that. But, like Steve Wilkes is going to be the fall guy at the end of the season if this defense can't get it together. Right now, they're on pace to allow more points than any Jets team in franchise history.
It's incredible to think about, because if there was one guarantee you could have told me coming into the season,
I thought they'd be a good unit. They had 8 of its 11 starters back.
Or if they're giving up a lot of points, at least
turnovers.
Some turnovers.
0.
Yeah, and getting sacks. Even last week, 1 sack. Come on now.
Glenn will
Baker
say,
did his
the
best.
holding penalties.
Yeah.
But when were the sacks happening? Not in the second half when you needed to impact the game, when you needed to make a play. Did they fall on a fumble last week? No.
Yeah, no.
I mean, 0 turnovers.
You know what, Jake? The more we're talking about this, there's one thing that just I've been noticing, and I think it's important. This team has yet to be part of a game where they're out. Like, do we ever out coach any other teams? You ever go into a game and be like, oh, they were out coached by us? We're always out coached. I can't even count on a hand the last 4 or 5 years how many times we've out coached.
I think the only
our
game,
talent's trying their best.
Right.
Quinn's trying his best. Garrett, Sauce, everyone's
I can think of one game where I thought the Jets clearly outcoached the opposition that wasn't like an awful team. When they beat the Eagles, when Sauce was in protocol and DJ Reed was out.
Great call.
They had no corners, and they beat the Eagles and they were 6-0 at the time. That's
the Green Bay game.
Yeah.
When Quinnen had a big game. You could point at the Texans game, maybe.
Yeah, but even the Texans game, I think they only won that game last year because it was a short week.
Yeah.
So talent-wise, we knew the Jets were as talented as most teams they played last year. So it was like, oh, you didn't have a chance to game plan against us? Great. Mano to mano, we could win a short week game at home, and that's what they did. They were 2-0 on Thursdays last year. Why do you think? Because we know the Jets were poorly coached, but the other team can't prepare on a short week. They don't have as much time. So that's my theory on why they were 2-0 on Thursdays and they sucked every other day of the week.
Yeah, it's so true. Isn't it crazy, too? You mentioned this before. A year ago,
we're 2-1.
We're 2-1. Year ago, we're 2-1, and Aaron Rodgers arguably has one of his best games in years against New England. We basically blew New England
And then
out.
he says the quote that week, the biggest challenge for us is we got to learn how to handle success. We were talking about handling success at 2-1 last year, and now we stink. We can't win a game.
It's incredible, man. It's incredible. Hey, you know what? We're in the dreads right now. It is what it is. Not anywhere. We're not in any place we're not really used to. But at the end of the day, I just want to see if this team is able to just continue to develop their talent. Olu's got to get better. Membu's looked really good. Got to get better.
That's a positive. Membu's been good.
Membu's been great.
Quinnen's been awesome.
Yeah.
Harrison Phillips and Juwan Briggs have played well.
Get Mason Taylor more involved too. Like, if you need to target him a bit more towards the end of games, even if you're not winning, try to get that mojo kind of moving with these young guys, because these are the players you want to depend on next year, and you want to depend on in 2 years, and you're going to depend on this year. So the more they can do developing out this young talent, and listen, we're playing a lot of young guys also. We're one of the youngest rosters in football. Don't forget that. Coming into the season, I think we were the second youngest roster in the league. So there's a lot of upside here. I don't think we should jump off the cliff just yet. And I think you got to give Glenn some more time. He's had 3, as we brought up, coaches that he just lined up against.
But you would agree now, with the schedule being what it is, where you're playing teams that are either all under 500 your next 6 games, or 2-1 in the case of the Bengals, but they don't have Burrow. Like, can you go 3-3 over the next 6? Like, I might be asking for too much, but if Glenn's going to say we're not the same old Jets, okay. But at 0-3, now I need you to start winning games. The Dolphins appear to be in, complete free for all.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's issues internally in that locker room. If you go out there and beat them, their coach might be getting fired. Like, the Jets have to win football games. Like, all the people saying, oh, what did you expect? I didn't expect them to be winless through the first 4 weeks. Win a game on Monday night. Let's go.
Monday night's a big night. Think about if they lose badly on Monday night.
If they lose badly,
how you're going to come out, how I'm going to come out, how the media in general is going to come out.
What if Tua gets hurt and Zach Wilson comes in? Uh-oh.
That'll be a prime example of the joke being as sick as it could possibly get. It's just as sinister as you can possibly get. But they have to come out and play well on Monday night.
Had
There's
to.
no reason with that defensive line we just spoke about and our ability to run the football. We thought at least our ability to run the football. They got to take care of business. Our offensive line was considered a strength coming in. Their defensive line is one of the worst in football. Fields, I assume, is going to pass protocol today. They should be able to run down their throats, Miami. No reason not to.
Couple super chats here, and then we will let Mr. Tanky V run. You're not golfing today, though. What, you're just going to be chilling in here eating the food?
I'm going to hang out. I'll hit a few balls.
I love it.
I'll go to the putting range. It's where I belong anyway.
Spencer Green says, Frankie, I would send the chat, but I got gas right now. Ow. Now, that is a Beastbreaker impression. This is what that is. This is what that is in reference to.
I got gas right now.
Where's he been? Has he been on your show?
He's been calling it. Yeah.
I didn't catch it.
He told me today that
your last show, but I didn't see him.
Yeah, he told me today he was working on something, even though he says he's retired. So I don't know. I haven't put the call on link yet because we just been doing interviews here. It got really dark behind you. We gotta do something with the
I'm gonna have to get some lighting.
The lighting here. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to this one. Frank, thank you for the super chat. He says put Chris B in the raffle. Frank, very nice of you. Put Chris B in on your behalf. Eli with a super chat. He wants to know what's your level of concern now that the two linebackers, Quincy and Marcelino McCrary Ball, have both been placed on injured reserve. We struggled in that area before the injuries.
I'll say this. Ironically, not having a player like CJ Mosley on the Jets, you see that they're not able to diagnose really what is going on with that front. They're not able to make adjustments, call audibles on the defensive side that really can impact where your players are and your ability to stop the run specifically, but also your ability to stop guys in space. This is a big time for Jamian Sherwood. We could talk about bringing in players and, getting Jamin Davis back in, whatever. It comes down to Jamian Sherwood. Is he going to be able to diagnose these defenses and in his process, now being one of the leaders on this team, is going to be able to continue to develop? That's what we need to see. Quincy's a rocket, man. Quincy's able to cover sideline to sideline and not be stopped for the most part. But the linebackers haven't been good because they're out of position. They've been out of position all year. Is Jamian Sherwood going to be able to put us in better position? And that's what I want to see. And listen, Jamian Sherwood, he's young, man. He hasn't played a lot of football.
No.
You're going to see him get better. He can't.
I thought he had his best game of the season this past game.
He absolutely did. He's going to get better. You're going to see Jamian Sherwood, assuming health, by the second half of the season, he'll be a different, better player than he was in the first half.
They just got to win before they're out of it, though. That's the thing.
Know.
Like, this is a big one on Monday, no doubt. Bo C says, I'd like to add Chris B to the raffle. Hey, everyone's rallying around Chris B, who watches the show every day, but has yet to figure out how to exactly enter a raffle or send a super chat. But Bo, well done. Cash Money Mike. So, Mike, let me tell you a quick story about him. Cash Money Mike, I gave him the name because we did a big raffle Saturday at our Tampa outing, and we had a $700 cash prize that Cash Money Mike won. So he was NYC to SRQ Mike, but now he's Cash Money Mike, and he just sent in a $50 super chat. Says, Tunnel to Tower, such a great cause. Thanks for doing this. Go Jets. We're raising money, baby. Let's go.
Dude, you are the man, dude. You are the man. I owe you a steak dinner. I owe you drinks. I know you're a whiskey guy, right?
I am a big whiskey guy, but I'm good with a nice martini as well.
Yeah, what do you prefer? You prefer bourbon, rye? I'm a rye drinker. I like rye whiskey.
I could do bourbon or rye.
Bourbon or rye? Cool. All right, cool.
I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah. Just give me something.
I'm a type of player you can put in any team. We'll figure it out. Seemingly unlike Michael Carter and
unlike
Jamie Sherwood or Brandon Stevens. He just might be bad. I mean, at least I'll have more grace with guys like Quincy and Sherwood and Carter because we've seen them be good. But, let's say Sherwood doesn't ever figure it out. Well, that's also on Aaron Glenn and Muji for signing him because, you guys needed to evaluate whether or not the player fit your scheme. Or how about this? Adjust your scheme for the talent you have because we all agree there is talent on that defense.
Yeah. I'll say this with Brandon Stevens specifically. When you pay a player like that, you're going to have to put that player in a position to succeed. They cannot be in a position where by week 7 or week 8, they're going to tell the fans, oh, this guy stinks. We just paid him a bunch of money in the offseason. You can't do that. You're a D-back yourself. Your coach, Steve Wilkes, was a D-backs coach initially. Put the guy in a position to succeed. It can't be that this guy can't play. And he had a pretty good game last week in terms of his ability to tackle. He does have good tackling mechanics. but he's always a step behind.
I like the guy they added in the trade this week with the Titans.
I do too. Yeah, that kid is really handsy, almost sometimes too handsy, but he's a good man corner.
And Titans fans were so pissed they
were
traded him,
pissed.
which is not the end all be all, but that tells me like, Tennessee's kind of like a dumb franchise too. Maybe the Jets pulled one on them.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. You're going to see with Tennessee, they're making a lot of changes too. So now Callahan, their head coach, is not calling plays anymore.
Yep.
He's on his way out. And Jake, these are the teams I always tell people. Last thing I'll say, I always tell people we're always going to be in competition with other teams in the AFC. The Titans are trying to do what we're doing. The Texans are trying to build off what they've had in the past, and they're
all of a sudden the bloom on C.J. Stroud has fallen off.
Oh yeah, man, that's a very interesting scenario right there because when their offensive coordinator left, they thought they'd be fine. Not always fine. And to that point, Jake, your offensive coordinator is a very, very important coaching position. And I think, and I'm not convinced totally yet, but I think we have one that we could confidently say we can keep here for 3 to 4 years. You know, I love Tanner Engstrand, so I'm as confident as anybody in him. We have to put together the right offensive pieces to help him succeed. And the O-line will get better.
Well said. Hey,
yeah.
I got great news for you. DB Boxing Fan says Tunnel to the Towers, great cause. JETS Jets, $50 more. The Tunnel to the Towers.
Nice. Thank you.
Everyone
Seriously,
donating.
thank you, Asmaniacs. You guys are the best.
A chance to win a signed helmet by Frankie. No, I'm just kidding. CJ Mosley, signed helmet.
I'd have to pay people to take that helmet if I signed it.
I appreciate you having us out, Frankie. This was it's been an awesome event. Now, hopefully the rain stops. Otherwise, everyone's got to get some Gustbuster umbrellas if they're going to be playing on the course.
Point. You should have brought some. Did you bring it?
I brought a mini one though. I didn't bring the big one.
You know what? I'm gonna bring it out with me.
You might need it.
I'm gonna maybe use it.
Oh yeah,
umbrellas. You know, I'm kind of a bigger dude.
I'm not leaving here. I don't want to get wet. No, I mean, come on. I'll be. They got the food. You guys put me next to the food and the bar.
God.
Like I'll be set. I'll be set.
You're gonna sit here the whole day.
I'll be hanging out.
You're not on the show.
Dylan Terraman. We might have to push back our second show this afternoon. You're the man,
Jake.
Appreciate it.
No, really appreciate it. You did a lot to help us out. And we didn't even ask Jake to do much. We just said, hey, come to the event, do a show. Jake did a bunch of promotions. We really appreciate it, man. Very nice of you.
What is the biggest thing you want people to know about this event with uStadium and Tunnel to the Towers?
Yeah. There's a lot of families in New York that were affected by 9/11. There's also a lot of families in New York and around the country that are affected.
It's an important cause to me, especially my stepdad. His brother passed away in 9/11.
Sorry about to hear that. Yeah. People go through things all the time. And you never really can relate to somebody that maybe went through something as catastrophic as 9/11. So we, being from New York and having a relationship with the foundation, I think CJ knew some people too, part of the foundation. We wanted to just help out families that are missing a father or mother figure. That's always something that it's tough for a child, a family to sort of grow up and not have a parental figure there. So a lot of families were affected by that. They're still being affected by that, and they might forever be affected by that. So why not us in a position where we can do something like this, bring people together, have someone like you who has a nice reach, one of the best reaches and maybe the best reach in the Jets community. Want to have you come out and let's see what we can do to support these people. And that's really it.
It's an awesome event, amazing turnout. You guys probably hear some of it in the background here. Golfers are eating, and I'll tell you what, we're going to keep the special guests rolling because the great Ryan Sampson from Gangs All Here is going to be joining us. He's Frankie V. My name is Jake Asman. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Quick break. We come back. We keep it rolling live from the uStadium Charity Golf Classic.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
Lane, what's up, Lane Kerner?
Hey, and I'm Jake, my brother. Do you have any other ideas about what you do now because the season's over?
I hope they draft really good players that help the Jets win.
I'm hearing that they might get, was it Knoble? Yeah. I see him going.
Wait.
I don't know.
Lane, who's Knoble?
The guy that the guy that was in college?
Well, a lot of these draft prospects were in college, so I'm trying to figure out who you're referring to. What position does Knoble play?
Was he because I think he plays in one of the college and stuff.
I don't know who Knoble is.
Yeah, Knoble. I forgot his last name. I would have to look it up.
All right.
And okay, thank you for taking my call.
Who's Knoble?
BJF, I'm gonna need you to figure out who this Knoble guy is. You're more of a draft guy than I am.
Knoble at 10. He's bust proof. Lane should get to announce. He should get to announce the draft pick. No matter who they pick, he should say we took Knoble.
That was a top 3 Lane call ever. You're welcome, Gator. I can't wait to see what you do with that one. We had everything in there. He gave us a Bruce Hall. He gave us this Knoble character. I don't know who he's talking about, but maybe we'll figure it out.
Whoa, holy crap, I can't believe it. Lane Kerner's in the house. Choo-choo, we are all aboard the Lane train. Hello, Lane.
You guys know when the Lane train calls in, this show could go anywhere, so buckle up. What's up, Lane Kerner?
Zach Wilson is not going to come back. Why don't you think he's going to sign still with the Jets? Is it because he's not good?
He stinks!
Oh, stinks? Yeah, same feeling.
The guy is terrible!
I said announce the draft picks.
Lane, I want you to announce a Jets pick. That would make my
Yeah,
life.
I mean, who am I going to pick, though, for the draft? On the 2022 draft pick, the pick goes to Knoble out of college. Then they tell you who the players are from, and their families get excited. You sign him, he should be good going into week 1. Yeah, I know a lot of the football.
That was amazing. I love you, Lane. You're the best. What a draft pick. Lane, you are a national treasure. I think in classic Charles Gorman fashion, I saw a comment from Charles that said, "Who is Knoble?" As we played a full video explaining exactly who Knoble is. So, Charles, I go to you next. Do you still not know who Knoble is?
I think Lane Train's an idiot. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
What do you mean he's an idiot?
He's making stuff up. Who's Knoble? I looked him up on the internet and he's not there.
He is. He went to college.
Guys, stop it. Seriously, I know the bullshit coming out of your mouth. It's bullshit.
Charles, I don't like your tone.
Here,
Charles.
how do you spell Knoble?
Charles, I don't need to dignify your nonsense. See you later. Get out of here. How do you spell Knoble? Doesn't matter how to spell Knoble. All that matters is he's one of the great prospects we've ever seen. More of your calls right now. Let's go to Jake Klein. What's up, Jake?
Well, actually, first off, for 1 second, who's Knoble?
No, he's a phenomenal prospect for the New York Jets.
I tried Googling. It said like amusement park things. I was like, I don't
No, he played at college.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll Google it another time, but
See you later. Jake, thanks for the time. Charles writes in, enough with the chicken soup talk. I'm pissed because of the stupidity this show has succumbed to. Hello, Charles.
Enough with the stupidity. I understand this Lane Train guy may be a nice guy, but does he even know what he's talking about? I've been looking this Knoble guy nonstop. Here, I'll share my screen with you. I know you're laughing, Jake.
Yeah, I'm laughing.
Knoble.
Type in Knoble out of college. It comes right up. It's like the first search. Type it in.
I am out of college. There's no such thing as him.
You believe everything you see on the internet? You're telling me your Google is accurate right now?
Yes, it is accurate.
How is it possible, Charles, if Knoble's not real, that Gator was able to put together an entire draft profile?
Knoble, FP football player from college. He is 5'7", 109.8 LBS, prospect grade 0.0, production score 69, and an athletic score of 007. He's very good, gets flag penalties, but he's very, very good, and I'm very good at this, taking football players.
You're defending Lane Train. That's what you're doing.
He played for the Rhinos. You just saw it.
Jake, if you want to lose a subscriber, stop right now.
Charles, I will take Lane Train over anybody. So if you're going to unsubscribe to my channel over Lane Train, then you know what? You got to do what you got to do.
Stop defending Lane Train.
Charles.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about, Jake. How about stop lying to yourself, stop lying to these people, and actually say the truth? I'm on your Discord, and one guy called Frankie Castle agrees with me.
Charles, I'll just keep playing Lane Train Sounders if you keep slandering the man.
I'm not slandering the man. I'm telling him. But you know what? I'm not in the mood right now. Goodbye.
Charles, thank you for the time. Well, people, are you Team Lane or Team Charles?
So when he was calling, he was so frustrated. And he's like, Jake, I'm Googling.
Aaron, when you say we're not the same team, you said in your opening statement. What do you mean? You're not the same team as what?
Well, we're not the same team as what everyone says, same old Jets. These guys are going to fight no matter what the situation is. There's no give up in them. I hate that term. And I really don't know what that term means, but I know this. They're not the same old Jets. All right, so these guys are fighters. I love these guys. And listen, we know we have work to do. And I said this before. This is not an instant coffee team. All right, this is a team that's going to continue to keep stacking until we get to where we need to get to where we can consistently win these games. And, again, I like where we're at, but I know we have a lot of work to do.
The guy who asked Aaron Glenn that question after the game on Sunday is our next guest podcast co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Sampson, Gangzo here, pod with the New York Post.
What's up, buddy?
You've been on the show a bunch. We've messaged off there, and this is the first time I'm meeting you in person, which is awesome, man. So great to finally meet you.
Listen, Jake, I always appreciate when you have me on, and I love talking Jets football with you. It's always fun to do these vent sessions with you and therapy sessions, I would call them, too. Man, it's awesome that you got to come out here and support this event. It's
you're playing, unlike me and Frankie and CJ Mosley.
Yeah.
You're the first guest on the show today that's actually going to be out there playing.
We're supposed to be teeing off in 10 minutes, but the rain right now might delay it. So, but yeah, I can't wait to get out there and hit some balls.
Let's talk about our team. Obviously, 0-3. I listened to you and Kaz, and it's always interesting to me. Kaz, I feel like, is the best at raining on the Jet fan parade when there are like glimpses of hope and optimism. But when they're really bad, a lot of times he is never that negative. He's always kind of spinning it positive, which I think is an interesting, an interesting dynamic that he has on that pod with you.
It's very funny. It's funny you say that. So like I told him he's very level-headed with some of these things he comes out with, because I think he does understand. Like he does sympathize with us as fans, where he's like, you guys have been going through this now 15 years plus. It's a struggle to watch this team and see them go through these early struggles, 0-3, the way they've coughed up some of these games early. It's painful. And then the coach doesn't help himself. And he actually admitted to me the other day on the show. And he's like, look, I don't think he's handled well the messaging to the fans. And, while he's speaking to us in the media, he's like, I wish he would be better in what he says in terms of the same old Jets. We're not the same old Jets.
Which
it's like,
surprises me, because I figured him being a Jet, he would kind of understand where the fan base is coming from a little more.
And that's where Kaz is surprised too, because it's like he's been here. He knows this. And he started as a scout here. And that's how he got his professional career launched after a playing career. And he's frustrated. He's not frustrated, but he's admitted that Glenn's messaging hasn't been the right one for the fans. The fans aren't going to appreciate what he's saying. And I have taken back a little bit what he said in terms of same old Jets. You keep losing the same ways. How many times are we going to see this team and defense let them down at the end of the game when they have a chance to make a stop? Defense is what your strength is as a coach coming into this position. And you brought in a guy, Steve Wilkes, who doesn't have a great track record. He's gotten plenty of jobs and opportunities. Has not worked out in any of those places. A man who took the 49ers defense to the Super Bowl and got fired by Kyle Shanahan, who usually lets the defensive coordinator do their own thing. And he had issues with Steve Wilkes back in San Francisco when they lost to the Chiefs the second time. It's not working right now, Jake. And there's too much talent on that defense, in my opinion, for why they're struggling the way they are early on.
When you look at where they're at, right? 0-3, we could say season's over, but it's not. There's 14 games left. We could say the combined record of their first three opponents is 8-1. If you want to be positive, like, they could easily have a win or two right now. Fine. They got to win Monday, though. Like if Aaron Glenn wants to say after a loss in brutal fashion where, let's be real, you were dramatically outplayed for 3 quarters, and it took a miracle Will McDonald play to give you a chance to, make it look closer than it was.
They took the pedal off the gas, the Bucs defense.
100%.
They stopped blitzing them.
Mike Evans got hurt. They're down already 3 linemen, 14 Bowles penalties.
Banged up already, and I'll give them. See, here's what I give the Jets defense a little bit of credit. They made some stops in the second half, and they gave their offense chances to go down the field, and they did. But again, this was the Bucs letting up, I think, a little bit. It's got to change this week. I'm interested to see.
Now you got to win. Like, you're playing a team in your weight class. You got to win a game.
I want to see if Justin Fields is going to play this week.
Glenn's about to speak, so we might get the live update.
I'm hoping we get that here soon, because they need him, and they need him in that offense, because I think – tell me what you think. I don't think they were able – obviously, they weren't able to run the ball this past weekend. Everything really runs off of what that read option is between Fields and Breece Hall or Braylon Allen, and I think that was a sorely missed thing this weekend against the Bucs. They need that against the Dolphins. Dolphins defense is not good. Secondary is really not that great either. But I need Justin Fields back in this game, because they need to be able to run the read option and be able to get this offense going. Because if you can get the offense going it might help the defense out because defense has not been able to create any turnovers. They haven't been able to get the key stops that you need to. It's just it's been a rough go of it right now to start the year.
Dolphins defense allowing 145 yards per game on the ground. Like, this is a golden opportunity for the Jets to establish the identity they said all summer they wanted to be.
They got to run the ball, man. They have to be able to run the I actually asked Cousins the other day. I'm like, why is Breece Hall's usage feel like it's been weird? Like, it's a start. They got Braylon more involved this past weekend, but it feels
Where
like
are the pass plays to Breece Hall?
That's the other thing. How many times have we seen Breece and Braylon on the field at the same time? It feels like never. And I question Tanner Engström there a little bit, where it's like, you don't have a secondary receiver. I don't need to see Tyler Johnson dropping balls on third down, wide open in the middle, hitting his hands, and he's dropping them. And I don't need Alan Lazard almost dropping touchdowns in the end zone. Why am I not using Braylon and Breece on the field at the same time? Split out Breece in the slot if you need to. Put Braylon in the backfield. Get some plays and motion off of that. You're so desperate to get another receiver in this game. Breece is so talented. You have it. Use it.
When you look at, like, specifically the first 3 games, like, we could talk about, Fields great week 1. He gets hurt week 2. Tyrod's a backup. It is what it is. How bad the defense has been, just getting back to the conversation.
Yeah.
And, like, you could see where this is headed if it doesn't get better. Like, Wilkes will be the fall guy, but, like, ultimately, like, Aaron Glenn, you're supposed to be, I know you say you don't want to, you're not a defensive coach, but, like, there's no excuse for this defense to be this bad. And I know they're playing the Dolphins have a lot of elite offensive players Monday, but can you force a turnover? Can you make a game-changing play? Like, that's what this game on Monday will come down to.
That's what they need desperately, but it's been 3 things, right? The 3 themes for the defense in the first 3 games. Week 1, they couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers in the play action and misdirection, and it was Rodgers picking on pretty much Brandon Stevens most of the game. Sauce had a very good game week 1. Week 2, you couldn't stop the run. They just ran the ball and bullied you from Josh Allen and James Cook. Week 3, you couldn't stop the deep passing attack, and you couldn't get the stop at the end of the game that you needed to. Ibuka made some really nice plays. They can't get contained on Baker Mayfield, and they don't cause any turnovers. So it's been 3 different things, Jake, with this defense that they have not been able to do in 3 straight weeks. Like you said, though, can they finally put it together in week 4 against the Dolphins? Can they piece this thing together and get enough stops and create Tua to throw some bad interceptions? He's going to float some balls up there. He's
had a bad year. He has no confidence right now.
Yeah.
He's turned the ball over every game in catastrophic scenarios.
Yeah. It's
if not now, then when? Like, when are they winning a game if they don't win? They're going to beat the Cow.
They've had no pass rush either, it feels
No.
like either. I mean, I know Jermaine was out last week, and he got banged up against the Bills, but you had to be able to get more pass rush besides just Jermaine Johnson. So Quinnen Williams, I know you're getting double teamed, but can he get something going? Can we get Will McDonald a sack this week against Tua? Tua's not the most flight of foot. The Dolphins' offensive line is not that great. You had 3 offensive linemen down against the Bucs, and they still couldn't get pass rush on these guys. Like, what if not now, when? And this is where you need to all come together and say, we need to be a dominant defense like we were the past couple of years and just make some plays, because that is what this team really needs. And it's frustrating to watch. It really is right now.
The Dolphins' record under McDaniel in primetime is horrendous. He's like, I think, the 5th worst coach all time. Gase is like number 3, by the way, with primetime records. And, like, this is an opportunity for Aaron Glenn. Like, I know it's the doubleheader, so not everyone's going to be watching at once, but it's still Monday Night Football. It's a division opponent. The Jets have been so bad against the AFC East. They have the worst record in football since 2020 against their own division. So, like, this is a statement game, even though the Dolphins are 0-3. Like, if you're going to come out and say to your fans, we are not the same old Jets, then you have to win a football game on Monday Night Football against another team that's supposedly in your weight class that's reeling right now.
I totally agree with you, Jake. This is it. I mean, you got to be able to stop. You got to win this football game in Miami. If you want to prove that you're actually going to take steps forward and prove that you're going to get better as the season goes on, this is a very winnable game for the Jets. But again, I need to see them piece it together. Is Justin Fields going to play? Are they going to have the read option? How's the offense look? Can the defense come up with those key clutch stops that you're asking for? And can they create some turnovers against a quarterback who floats some ducks out there? I do have to go tee off right here.
Let's go.
I do have to say goodbye.
Let's go.
But listen, I appreciate you. You know, I'll always come on with you anytime you guys want. Your show is amazing. You guys are great. Fans are funny.
Don't tell that to people on Twitter. Apparently, I'm not allowed to be critical if the Jets are 0-3 for the 4th time in 7 years.
Yeah, I know. It's we don't want to preach patience, and patience is hard for us to hear because it's been 15 years.
Especially when the coach himself said we're here to win now and going forward, and now we're kind of moving the goalposts.
Give me like a stretch of 2 or 3 games in a row where you put it together consistently and maybe win some games, and then I'll get behind you, and I'll be fully confident in what you're preaching.
I love you repping the Jets, by the way, as you're out there today.
Always.
Love it. Hey,
Anytime.
Shoot him
man.
straight. That's what they say in golf,
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna try and hit him straight.
Pretend like you're in the Ryder Cup.
I don't know how many balls I'm gonna lose today. Jake, you're the man. Appreciate you as always.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Sampson, Gags out here at New York Post.
Like and subscribe.
By
Like
the
and
way,
subscribe.
go
Yeah.
Yankees, baby. Feeling good right now. Toronto's.
Yeah, they are choking. I think the Yankees are going to win the division, but Aaron Judge will not win the MVP, unfortunately. He should be an MVP.
If we had more time, I'd go on a rant with you.
It drives me crazy.
Yep.
I told Joel this the other day, and Joel's like, "Nah, Cal Raleig's the MVP.
That's
60
crazy.
home runs for a catcher. That's all they care about."
That's silly.
Aaron
Silly.
Judge is the best player in baseball.
My man.
You're the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Sampson, Gags out here, Brian Costello, Frankie V. They do a great job. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube and listen wherever you get audio. Purple Belt Mike says, supporting like a wizard. PBM, how about it? He is in the Asmaniac raffle for 2, and his super chat goes towards Tunnel the Towers, which is raising money for victims of September 11th and their families. We have here a signed CJ Mosley helmet that CJ was nice enough to sign for me before we went live with him this morning. So for those of you who missed that, definitely check it out. Aaron Glenn is supposed to speak, or he might be speaking right now. I'm going to check Twitter right now to see if he provided an update so we can react in real time to any potential update on Justin Fields. And we do, in fact, have an update. Jets head coach Aaron Glenn said Justin Fields will practice today, but he remains in concussion protocol. So here's how I interpret that. If he's out there practicing, that means he's trending towards being cleared, because you wouldn't have Fields starting to practice if he was still concussed. So it means that he's probably in like the early phase of clearing the protocol. They have the extra day because of the Monday night game. So this to me is a good sign, as long as he has no setbacks, that he's going to play and start for the Jets on Monday Night Football. That's how I would interpret that. So good update there on Fields from Aaron Glenn. So one of the stages of protocol requires Fields to go through a practice. If he goes through a practice, I think he's the starter on Monday night. So there's your update on Fields. He should be the starter. He gives the team, I believe, against this opponent in particular, the best chance to win the game. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to quickly throw away commercial break. It's not a true commercial. It's a short commercial, because what I need to do is adjust the camera so it looks normal, and we'll finish our show. Phone lines are open if you want to join. We're presented by FanDuel, and we'll check the line to see if it moves at all. But with the uncertainty at the quarterback spot, as of this morning, the Jets are still a slight dog. 2.5 points is the point spread. So quick break. We come back. We finish our show with plenty of your calls, and we will react to more of what you just heard me update you on. Justin Fields practicing today, but still in the protocol. Back right after this.
Don't let anyone say that it's just a game. For I've seen other teams play and it's never the same. When you root for the Jets, you're sick in the head. And when the Jets win, I may be long dead. Our hero is Ed, and he wears jet green. This is the worst team that I've ever seen. Despite all the losses, the ups and the downs, the coaches, they come and they go. Keeping traditions and wishes made new. The place where our grandfathers and fathers grew. The spiritual feeling, if I ever knew. And if you don't watch Jake, I feel sorry for you. And when the day comes with that final Super Bowl run, and I'm drunk and I'm covered in beer, I'll look to the sky and I know I was right to say, someday we'll go all the way. Yeah, someday we'll go all the way. Let's go, Jets.
We are back here at the uStadium Charity Golf Classic. I've adjusted my positioning here. I want to be able to face the camera so it doesn't look as awkward. And it's just you and me, Asmaniacs, for the remainder of our show. Plus, we will do the raffle at the end here for the signed CJ Mosley autographed helmet here. It's tough to see CJ's signature with the lighting in back, but hopefully you guys can see it there. Great signature by the former Jet Pro Bowler. And everyone who's entered, obviously, is entered not just in our weekly raffle, but for a chance to win that at the end of the show, with the proceeds going to Tunnel to Towers. I'm rocking the Tunnel to Towers hat right now. So thanks to everyone who has supported the show today. We've raised a ton of money. And now we can sit here and talk about the news of the day from the Jets. And that news is Justin Fields has gone out there, and he will be practicing. Now, will he play? That is the question. Will he play? Now, here's what we know. Justin Fields practicing today, but still in the protocol. One of the stages of protocol requires him to go through practice. I forget how many stages there now are, but it's a good sign that he's out there at least practicing. Aaron Glenn saying that the Jets need to start faster, better than they have in recent weeks. No bleep. Quote, I know we've been going against really good teams, but that doesn't matter. I have an expectation of the operation of our team. We have to get our running game going and execute all three phases. They do. And that's been a huge disappointment so far. I know obviously they were in catch-up mode in the second half last week. The Bills game, I mean, they had nothing going, but they have to get things going. I mean, that's it goes without saying. They have to start faster, especially against this Dolphins team. The Dolphins, they're going to lay down if you punch them in the mouth. There's a lot of issues there. They get down 10. The Jets could somehow get a 2-score lead early. You wonder if they're just going to mail it in. There's a lot of issues internally there. There just is. So let's get the ball. Let's go down the field. Let's score. Hopefully it's Fields. You run the ball. You set the tone. Let's get off to a good start. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Glenn saying Fields practicing today remains in the protocol. Means it's a good sign that if he clears practice without any issues or setbacks, he's going to go out there and play. Glenn saying the Jets are going to try and get the ball to Mason Taylor more. Aaron Glenn on Jets rookie linebacker Kiko Maragoa. He's been growing up quick. He's going to get a good chance to play. I mean, without Quincy, without question. Aaron Glenn on the Brownlee trade. Credit to Muji. Anytime you can get a player that can improve your team, you try to move as fast as you can. It was a no-brainer. He plays our brand of football. Glenn did make it official, by the way, that if Fields clears protocol, he will play. I know there was some conversation. Would they go with Tyrod even if Fields is healthy? So, once again, he's going to practice. If he clears protocol, he'll be good to go. Glenn said Jermaine Johnson and Jarvis Brownlee are week to week. I don't think we see Jermaine on Monday based on that update there, but we'll see. We'll see what his actual designation is. Is he going to practice today at all or not? That I don't have the answer to. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to your calls. If you're just tuning in, we are live in Westchester, raising money for Tunnel to Towers. We're at the uStadium Charity Golf Classic at Harrison Meadows Country Club. If you want to hear CJ Mosley's full thoughts on the Jets, rewind to the beginning of the episode, and you can check it out for yourself. Jets to the Moon enters our raffle for 1. Jets to the Moon enters our raffle for 2 by gifting the community memberships. Burkinator says, Jake, I gifted 10 memberships. Received confirmation. Don't see it posted. Help. I will look into that for you, Burkinator. Thank you for gifting 10. Did you do it on YouTube? Make sure you did that. Email me your receipt that you did it, and I'll make sure that we enter you in the raffle once we confirm that. AsmanJake@gmail. Jets Carpetbagger says donation. Thank you, Jets Carpetbagger. We will keep you. We will add you, I should say, to our raffle coming up. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch back over to my StreamYard slide here. Boom, it worked. And now let's get to some calls before we do our raffle and wrap up our morning stream here in Westchester. Adam is too cool is first up this morning, or I guess technically the afternoon now. What's up, Adam?
All good, man. It's really great that you're doing a charity event. Sorry the weather wasn't so great for today.
You know what? It stinks for the people that are golfing, but for me, it's all good, baby.
Yeah. All right. So I was doing some stat picking on the penalties in particular. And I don't know if we've done a lot of talk on exactly what the nature of the penalties are, but I wanted to share some stats that you may or may not know. Do you know what the accepted penalty differential is between the Jets and their opponents through the first 3 weeks?
I do not.
What do you think? Do you think it's positive or negative? Do you think there's a deficit where we have more penalties than the opponents or vice versa?
Well, I mean, it might be a little skewed because of how many that Tampa just had. So I'd say it's probably close to even or maybe a little bit skewing in the Jets' favor.
It is skewing in the Jets' favor. It's -5 in the Jets' favor in terms of accepted penalties.
Well, think about it, though. Tampa just committed 14 of them in a game.
That's correct. Now, what's interesting about that, though, is that ranks 8th in the NFL so far. So, yes, the penalties have been annoying, but we are triggering a lot more penalties from the other teams. So, when I was taking a look at the nature of the penalties that have been conducted by the opponents of the Jets, obviously last week was a big one with Tampa Bay. But if you look at, I'm looking at my numbers here. We triggered 9 offensive holding penalties on the opponents, which means that our defense is causing problems. And it hasn't shown up in the turnovers and maybe in the sacks because we keep getting held. And I think that's something to note. And it's quite interesting. And then if you add on the 2 intentional groundings that Josh Allen had, that brings it to 11 disruptive plays by our defense. And those could have been sacks. Those could have been fumbles. Those could have been, who knows what they could have been. But the penalties have perhaps been cloaking our defensive performance. And that might be part of the reason why we haven't been able to get these turnovers. So it'd be interesting to see if this trend continues, that we continue to trigger these defensive holding calls. And maybe that's a strategy, even though it's a weird strategy on the opponent side of things. But I thought that was very surprising. And the fact that we are getting that many holding penalties from the opposition, regardless, even beyond just Tampa Bay, that's actually promising in a way. That is something that you could sort of look to and say, that's not a bad thing.
Well, there's been some progress with some of the guys they added in the middle, especially like Phillips, Briggs, Quinnen, I think has played really well so far. It's just they haven't forced turnovers though, Adam. I mean, that's the big thing. They haven't forced enough turnovers on defense. That's the next step.
Yeah, and part of that might be because of some of these other penalties that have been happening, and we haven't had a chance to make the play. Like, you can't do a forced fumble if you're being held.
Yeah, but them and the Dolphins are the only team in the league that doesn't have a takeaway so far. So it can't just be because of that.
Yeah, it's not the only reason, but I think it's a contributing factor. So it's just good. It's good to look. There's a website called penaltytracker.com. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but that website lists every single penalty that was thrown.
Leon says your stat moral victories.
Look, I'm not saying it's a moral victory. We're 0-3 because we haven't made enough plays, but I'm also saying that part of the challenge on.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Streamer's acting up.
Yeah, it's not. Look, any positive thing is not a moral victory. Okay, you can still say.
Kind of sounds like that's what you're doing.
Okay, so I say one good thing, and now it's the moral victory talk. Look, let's be real, and this is my situation, right? I came in thinking that this team was going to be 2-6 at the bye. What I severely underestimated is how painful that looks as a fan. So if that's our fate for this year, it is going to be a very painful first half of the year. But I think that I think that there's some signs that we're not as bad as we think we are, and I think that's not a moral victory. That's just saying, let's beat the Dolphins and prove that we're not the bottom and that we're just a team that is learning how to be good. When in the last 4 years, we have not learned how to be good. We actually learned how to be bad.
I would love to sit here next week and say, that's a well-coached team. That's a great win. I don't care if the Dolphins are reeling. You did what you had to do. Now let's build on it coming home against a Dallas team that's going through their own problems. They got to do it, though. They have to do it. That's it. Until they get it done, it's tough to sit here and be that optimistic, but this is a very winnable game on Monday night. So win it. That's how I look at it. We're live from the uStadium Charity Classic. Thunderlip says that's the very definition of moral victory. We aren't as bad as we think we are. Win games. Amen. Amen. We're presented by my friends at 1v1me. Listen up, Asmaniacs. Sports are all about competition. Every snap, every possession, every clutch moment matters. The same energy is what 1v1me brings to video games. Every single day you can watch and stake on matchups in Madden, NBA 2K, FC, Call of Duty Search and Destroy, and much more. All the games are streamed live. Every match has refs. Payouts are instant. And these aren't just random online lobbies. These are the best players in scene, pros, streamers, and rivals with the season playoffs and championship game on the line. Every game matters. Over 100 million has already been paid out on the app, and the community is growing fast. If you're a sports fan, a gamer, or just someone who loves having a little extra on the line, 1v1me is where you need to be. It's not just about winning. It's about bragging rights, too. Every match is a chat going crazy, and you could back your pick in real time. Download today. Use my code ASMAN. Your first stake on the app is risk-free. That's code ASMAN for a risk-free first stake. Comments, questions, super chats. Super chats going towards an awesome cause, Tunnel to Towers. I'm rocking the hat right now. We have a raffle for a signed CJ Mosley helmet that CJ was nice enough to sign for me before we had him on today. We will raffle that away for anyone who enters. How about this? Bo C says, stage 1, rest. Stage 2, light aerobic exercise. Stage 3, sport-specific exercise. Stage 4, full contact. Practice. Stage 5, return to the game for full participation, concussion protocol. Bo, thank you for that. That is, in fact, the concussion protocol. So it's good to know. I think Fields is going to play. I have felt that all along. I think it's a good thing he's going to play, too. Let's see. Oh, they asked Glenn about the fake spike. And he said, I'm a corner, so I forget. Well done. Let's see. Update here. Josh Reynolds, Tony Adams, Jay Tafili, and Kene Nwanu will practice today. Kene playing? I know it's like, oh, he's a special teamer. Who cares? I hope he plays. We've gotten nothing on kick return since he left. And he's the reason why Xavier Gibson had to play in the first place on that kick return. Had to be back there as the primary returner. So I am someone who hopes Kene plays because I think that could be a huge boost on Monday night. And remember, Jet fans, in the Jets' history, they've used big kickoff returns against the Dolphins to win games. Here's Samini's update on some injuries. Jermaine ankle, newly acquired corner Jarvis Brownlee week to week. Reynolds, Adams, Tafili, and Nwanu practicing. Love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, JYB says, great to see you, brother. Great interview. Keep it up. Keep up the grind. How about JYB just sending in $100 in super chats there to support what we're doing this morning? JYB, you're the man. This is for you.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
JYB, thank you very much. By the way, I did pull Aaron Glenn providing the brief Fields update. Let's see if this works.
And Justin will be practicing, but he's still going through the protocol. All right, so we have to make sure that's clear, and we'll be fine, but he'll be practicing today.
He then followed up and said, Field starts if he clears. More calls. Ladies and gentlemen, who knows where exactly this man is calling us from? Nobody seems to know, but we will all find out all together. Stop what you're doing and get ready for the beast. Oh, God. Beast?
We're working!
Doing what exactly? You're taking a broom and are you playing Quidditch? Quidditch?
Wrong!
Riding a lawnmower?
Try cleanup time, kid!
Well, we can't see because your internet is not great. It's very laggy.
Clean!
Are you riding a broom?
We're almost done!
You're sweeping?
We ain't done! We're not done. We're working. Time to get back to work. You'll say. 30 game. Baby. I just had chicken. Chicken.
Thank you, Beast. That was something. That was something. It really was. All right, more of your calls before we wrap. Last chance to enter our raffle. Proceeds going towards Tunnel to Towers. We're going to give away this helmet here. In fact, if the winner wins, I will even mail it to you on my way home once I get back to Manhattan. The Lup Man is up next on the show today. Luppy, what do you got for us?
Hey, Jake, how you doing? Back
What's
from
up, Lup?
AC. Didn't win much, but I did get the football. That was great. I just
You did
happened
win
to
something. You did win something.
Absolutely. I signed on. I just wanted to get on there. I really didn't have great Wi-Fi, so I couldn't call from there. I'm like, you know what? Let's throw a super chat because I couldn't, give gift memberships. And lo and behold, boom! I finally hit something in Atlantic City. That was great. Thanks, Jake. Listen, great cause, Jake. Great cause. You always do a great thing with the causes that you promote. We do miss CJ. Absolutely. You
Oh
can
my
see the
God.
leadership. The leadership. I said it a few months back that I knew we were going to have a little problem with this, but his leadership skills, his experience, putting the guys in the right position before the snap. He was the quarterback of the defense for us. You could see the drop in the defense because he's not there. Like you said, I wish he would coach. That would be amazing. So as far as this game this weekend, Jake, I think we're going to find out who they are. If Glenn is thinking that they're the team that he thinks that they're not the same old Jets, this is a game that we smack them in the mouth early. We smack them early because I think if we don't and we let them in the door, I think Waddle and Hill give us a little bit of fits in the secondary. But we need a pass rush, Jake. Something we really haven't seen, a pass rush. I think having these linemen back, especially, I think Tufuli's going to have a surprise sack if he's on the field. I think that makes a difference. I think we need to impose our will on them. I mean, if we're going to be any kind of a team this year, if we go on to Monday night and throw another Monday night SOJ, then we are. We can't do that. Tyrod definitely should be the backup and not Field. Field should start if he clears concussion protocol. You can always pull him and throw Tyrod in if necessary. I think if we hit Tua early, like I said, it's all about pressure, Jake. The defense has always been the problem. They are scheming guys open. So, you all right, Jake? Is there someone talking to you?
There's like a beast lawnmower going off to my left, so I muted my mic. So
I thought he was stealing catalytic converters. That's what I thought he was doing.
Yeah. No, I when I do remote shows, I have very good equipment. I just want to make sure that it's not it doesn't sound bad for the audience. So I muted
The
my
sound
mic.
has been great.
Okay.
The sound's been great. It's once in a while you'll glitch a bit, but your sound sounds great though. You did a good job.
They didn't have a Ethernet connection for the internet here, so we're on their Wi-Fi. But I'll give this place credit. Harrison Meadows, pretty good Wi-Fi so far. So
Yeah.
I'm glad the show's going well, Luppy. I'm glad you won something. Maybe you didn't win an AC, but you won something.
No,
on
I
the show.
didn't. I broke even about, just about that. That's all you really can wish for. You go there, have a good time. It's really about me and my wife, and I had a great time, and I'm glad that I won it. And can't wait to get the jersey. It's 2 in a row, Jake. I mean, I haven't gotten anything since the beginning when you first started the raffle. So I got the sweatshirt, and I got the Gusbuster umbrella, and I'm in almost most of them. I love supporting you. And it was nice to have a couple of things at the end. So it was really good. Thank you.
Luppy, you're the best. Let's get a win Monday, all right?
Yes, that's a win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lup Man, check it in. Luppy, one of the OGs of this show. C says donation. C, we got you down, and you're in our raffle coming up for 5. Also, Burkinator, I got your email. He mistakenly gifted Patreon membership, so I'm going to figure out how I could distribute those. But it's all going towards a charitable cause, Burkinator, so I will add you to the raffle for your requisite entries as well. Aaron with a super chat, and Asmaniac one says, I hope we get this dub on Monday. Amen. They could win this game Monday. I need them to do it. You can't say we're not the same old Jets, then start 0-4 and lose to the Dolphins in primetime on Monday Night Football. Because then you are the same old Jets. Bo says, is it me or does Luppy sound like Robert De Niro? I have not heard that, but I like that. By the way, speaking of Patreon, you definitely all should join it if you're not. Got a couple days left in September. If you want your name added to the intro, join before the month ends. You get access to our Discord. You find out about exclusive events. I posted info about when our first watch party will be. It will be for the Jets versus the Bengals, October 26th. That's all on the Discord. I'll have more info when we get closer. Merch store discounts, 20% year-round, and a whole lot more. Man with a rake with a super chat in the raffle for 2. Bunch of shitty teams coming up on the schedule. I predict a nice run, LFG. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Look, the schedule is not difficult. But the Jets have not proved that they're good enough to take advantage of a weak schedule. Go out and prove it. You're playing an 0-3 team on Monday. You're playing the Cowboys, who are 1-2 the following week. you're playing the Broncos, who are 1-2 after that, right? You got a game against Cleveland thrown in there. The Bengals without Burrow. There's winnable games, man. We've talked about it. This is not the most daunting schedule, but until the Jets prove they could beat some of these teams, those teams are looking at the Jets like this is their get-right game. Here's the schedule. Home Dallas, in London against the Broncos. We will be at that Panther game. At Cincinnati, then the bye, Cleveland, New England. These are all winnable games coming up. All of them. But they're not going to win all of them. It's the Jets. For purpose wrong. Make something of your season. That's what we want. Hey, if you're watching live right now, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Thanks again to everyone who's donated to our charitable cause this morning, Tunnel to Towers. Spencer Green checks in with another super chat. Jake, the high school coach I coach at, or the high school I coach at, is number 115 of the nation. We play the number 18 team tonight. If there is a link to the game, I will post in the Discord if you guys are bored and want to watch a good game. Spencer, we didn't know you coached. Are you a position coach, Spencer? What's your role with the team? Give us some info. Love it. Good luck. One of our own is a big-time assistant coach at Don Bosco, Andrew Fialco. Lou B in the house. Hey, can I shout out Lou B? Lou was watching our show yesterday when we had Nick Shine on, and Lou heard that Nick said that he's going to the game. And Nick was trying to convince me to go, and I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. Not at 0-3. I can't put myself through the torture. And Lou B reached out to Nick Shine and gave him a ticket to the game to sit with Lou and some other Jet fans who are going. Lou was just in Tampa, too. He truly is super Jets fan. Like, Lou B, super Jets fan, checks out. I can promise you that. But what an unbelievable gesture by Lou to connect another Jet fan, and they're going down to the game. Now, as far as the hurricane that I've been hearing about, I don't know. I don't know what the projection is for Monday night. And the weather guessers, as I referred to, not weathermen or women, because they're kind of just making it up, it feels like, as we go along. Do we know what the projection is on a Thursday? Do we think that would hold for a Monday? I don't know. But shout out to Lou. Lou is the man. He watched Dylan Terraman puke his brains out Saturday night at the club. No, I'm just kidding. But he did see a drunk DT. We will recap Dylan's weekend with the Asmaniacs during our afternoon show today. All right. Last chance to get in here. Let me talk about our other big sponsor today, ZipRecruiter, calling all hiring managers. Maybe that is you. Well, if that is you, or you're someone who is in a position to hire others, make sure you use ZipRecruiter, because they are the best at making the process to hire people as easy as possible. ZipRecruiter has the best technology to allow you to get a qualified candidate as quickly as possible. They are new advances. You easily find and connect a qualified candidate within minutes. You see a candidate you're interested in, you then can unlock their contact info instantly. ZipRecruiter has over 320,000 new resumes added every month, so you could reach more potential hires and fill roles sooner. ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. And if you want to try it for free, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Use ZipRecruiter. Save time hiring. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter, they get a quality candidate within the first day. So if you go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio right now, you can try it for free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Also, I want to shout out everyone who has sent me a Venmo. And if you did Venmo me, I am adding you into our raffle as well. A bunch of great Asmaniacs said, I don't want YouTube to get a cut. I'm going to Venmo you, Jake Asman, Anthony Lozerato, I see you. Kyle Clifton, I see you. Eli Betts, Peg and Artie, I see you. Leany in North Carolina. John LG. Everyone on Venmo or even Zelle, AsmanJake at Gmail. We will account you for our charitable donation for Tunnel the Towers and our CJ Mosley signed helmet that we will be raffling away as well. Let's do one last call here, and then we will get to that raffle and close out our show. I'm sorry that this is the guy that we're ending with, but he's the only one on the line.
Alert, alert, Allen alert. Can't see Jet fans are dumbass jerks. Alert, alert, an Allen alert. Delusional dreams for pathetic fans. I, Big Joe is a dog. Beast Breaker is fat and dumb as a rock. And Peter's a dick who blocked all my chaps. We should have got all Josh Allen to start. This show needs me. Jake knows I'm right, and he's always wrong. Alert, alert, Allen alert. Can't see Jet fans are dumbass jerks. Alert, alert, an Allen alert. You hate me because I'm always right.
Good morning, Jake. Talk about Fialco. He coaches against the number 12 team in the country tomorrow, so good luck to him.
Let's go.
As far as a conversation we had after week one, I said if you play Jermaine Johnson 89% of the snaps, he's bound to get hurt, coming off an Achilles. I don't know when we're going to see him again. I know that Glenn mentioned and said week to week. I could see him being out for another month. I truly do. And
we don't know. We don't know the severity of it.
He is not playing this week. I don't think he's playing next week. When somebody says week to week, I think it's really vague. And
he's already missed a week though. This would now be 2 weeks. So how do you know you just love to run with things before you have information?
I said this from the start.
Could be right, but we don't know.
No, you don't play a guy off an Achilles 89% of the snaps week one. That's irresponsible coaching.
Not if he's 100% healthy and they think
he's
ready to go.
Hold on. You do not play a guy 89% of the snaps.
Alan, why didn't they place him on IR then if he's going to be out all these weeks?
You don't play him 89% of the snaps week one.
Okay.
You just don't.
Okay, great. But they did. They did. Okay.
And that's why they're going to lose him for the next couple of weeks.
You have no idea there's a correlation between him playing that many snaps and then him rolling his ankle in week two.
Okay. We can differ on that. I think it's irresponsible coaching.
Okay, well, let's now talk about the fact that you're speculating that he's going to be out multiple weeks. They didn't put him on IR.
I think he will be out multiple weeks. Yeah, I do.
They did not put him on IR.
And I would not be surprised if they do put him on IR. Okay, I would not. So here's the comment on Monday night. If the Dolphins really give a crap about their coach, I think they will throw the ball all over the Jets. If they don't, I think the Jets will beat them. I think that's the type of matchup, especially without Quincy. I think the back seven of this defense against the speed of the Dolphins is such a mismatch that I worry that the Jets can get thrown all game long. I expect the Dolphin defense to play 9 in the box and dare whether it's Fields or Taylor to beat him with their arm. I just don't know how the Jets can combat the speed of the Dolphins. That's the only difference. And the key is whether a guy like Tyreek Hill actually gives a crap about his coach and plays with intensity. If he doesn't, I think the Jets win. That's the difference, I think, on Monday night.
Well, I mean, I just don't think the Dolphins are that good. Their defense is
I don't think the Dolphins are that good.
Yards a game. Their defense stinks right now.
Their defense
is a turnover machine. So I think there's opportunities for the Jets to play their style and be in this game and force a couple turnovers. And if they get up, I do wonder if they quit. Do they lie down and die?
I will know. You'll know a lot about the Dolphins in the first 10 minutes of this game. You really will. If they actually care about their coach. As you said, they played really well last Thursday against the Bills. Was that their last hurrah, or do they come home and play hard for their coach? If they don't, you'll see it early, and you'll see their defense get shredded on the ground. But again, with the Jets being, for the most part, a one-dimensional team, I wonder how the Jets combat against the team that's going to play 9-10 in the box. They are. Can the Jets?
The Dolphins are allowing 145 yards.
I understand that, but
they threw the ball week one. They threw the ball week one.
Again, the Dolphins' run defense is awful. I agree with you.
Correct.
The difference is the Jets don't have a passing attack. They don't. That's
they had it. They had it week one. So let's see.
I understand they had it week one. Look at the last 2 weeks. They did not.
The second game, Fields was just horrendous, and they played the Bills, who might be the best team in the league. Last week they had a passing attack. It just took too long to get going.
23-6 with 10 minutes to go. I don't buy the last 10 minutes.
Their first 2 drives, they had a passing attack. It's just they had the penalty that killed them.
They scored 6 points in the first 50 minutes of that game.
And guys, were guys not open last week?
And Todd Bowles stopped blitzing and put took the foot off
Alan,
the gas.
they're playing the Dolphins, though.
I
This
know
is a
the
team in their
Dolphins
weight class.
stink, but
That's
the
the point.
Dolphins, no.
That's the
The
point. So
Dolphins
let's
are
see.
an awful football team. Okay, I agree with that.
So let's
but
see.
The problem is
That's
the
what we're
Jets
talking
have
about.
no passing attack, none, zero.
Okay, they don't have a great passing game. We knew that, but they should be able to run the football. That's why I think it's a good matchup.
I worry about the fact that the Dolphins will put 9 or 10 in the box.
Pittsburgh tried to do that too, and they were able to run it on them.
I look at the 4 units minus the
You don't think
special
Fields'
teams.
ability in the RPO is going to open some things up?
First of all, I don't even know if he's playing.
He's
don't.
He's practicing right now.
Okay.
And
He might play. I'm not sure if he plays. I think that will make a little bit of a difference. But again, I don't trust him throwing the ball at all. I don't.
Also, to Dylan's point, they don't put 10 players in the box.
They will put 9 in the. They will put 9 in the box.
And guess what? Garrett Wilson will be able to get open and torch the Dolphins secondary.
Okay. He hasn't done. He hasn't.
He did it week 1. He just had a big game in week 3.
Week 1. Last 2 weeks he hasn't really done much.
He just had another big hit, 10 catches.
Again, they have one wide receiver. They will basically shield their defense towards Wilson. The problem with the Jets is the Jets have no other options in the passing game. None. 0.
So
and again,
they can run the ball, set up play
at the
action.
4 units.
So what's your prediction for this game? Obviously, you're going to pick against the Jets. So what's
I
your
think the
prediction?
Dolphins win. Again, as I said, if the Dolphins actually give a crap about their coach, they will win the game.
So what's the score then? 40-3?
No, I never said it's going to be a blowout. I'll say 35-24.
You have the way you talk about the Jets is that they're going to score no points. You have them scoring 24 points.
I never said the Jets are not going to score points. I think they will score points because they will be down and they will come back against a horrible defense. But I think the Dolphins will score 30.
When you say they're going to get down, you mean they're going to be trailing by multiple scores early in this game?
They will be down multiple scores in this game, yes. And they will come back.
Spencer says, Alan, again, you support the
I
Iowa
do support
Hawkeyes.
my Hawkeyes. Absolutely.
Do you hate them too and pretend to be a fan of them?
Do I what?
Do you actually hate them like you do the Jets?
I don't hate them. I don't hate the Jets. I'm just realistic.
Right. My hair's not
realistic. I don't think this team is going anywhere until they find a quarterback. That's the problem. And I think down deep, you think the same. You don't think this team is going anywhere without a quarterback.
No, but I don't
believe in the quarterback.
No, but that doesn't mean I don't think they can win Monday night.
I never
the Dolphins
said
are
they
the 72
can't win
Dolphins.
Monday night. I don't think they will win Monday night. Again, the way they win Monday night is if the Dolphins actually don't give a crap about
or the Jets, who have just as much talent as them, get another good game from Fields like they did week 1, and they score points against a defense that has been terrible through 3 games. Just like
I
the
have
Jets.
more confidence in the Dolphin passing game against this putrid.
What's Mike
back
McDaniel's
seven.
record in primetime?
I don't care about Mike
2-10.
McDaniel. When was the last time the Jets won in Miami?
Rex
10
Ryan's
years.
last game as the coach.
10 years the last time they won there.
Okay, they're due. They're due to win.
You're bringing up Mike McDaniel's game. The Jets have always stunk. On
What do you
prime
think is
time.
more relevant, the Jets' last win in Miami or the coach's record in primetime?
Hold on. When's the last time the Jets did well in prime time? The Jets never win in prime time.
Aaron Rodgers' first game.
Oh, please stop with
They
Aaron
won.
Rodgers.
They
Oh,
won.
come on. They don't
They
win
beat
in
the
prime
Bills.
time.
What do you mean?
The
They
Jets
beat the
don't
Bills.
win in prime time.
No,
I don't care about
but neither
Mike
do the
McDaniel's
Dolphins.
3-10
So
record.
something's got to give.
I understand that. Again,
Alan, I could see them losing, but the way you were like so dismissive of any scenario the Jets winning, you're not a real Jet fan.
my scenario is if the Dolphins don't care.
You
about
said they're
their
going to get
coach.
torched, and then you just said they're not going to get blown
I
out.
never said they're going to get blown out. I think they're going to lose the game.
You said they're going to get torched. What does that mean?
I know. I said they're going to get torched in the passing game. I don't think they're going to get torched in the entire game. I think the Dolphins will.
Also,
throw
they beat the
ball
Texans in
all-
primetime last year, Halloween.
What?
They beat the Texans on Halloween last year in primetime.
They
And
always
the Pats,
beat the
yes,
Texans.
and the
That's
Pats
one
on
team they
primetime.
can beat. I get it.
They beat
But
the Pats
over
too.
the
I was
years,
there.
They've been awful in prime time. Awful.
Yes,
The Jets
but,
have been terrible.
but our head coach said we're not the same old Jets, so it's all different now.
Yeah. The same old Jets. Okay. I want to hear, and another final thing, okay? I want to hear the excuse from this coach and the fan base if they lose Monday night. I
You're
cannot
rooting
wait
for
hear
it.
the
You're
excuse.
excited. I can't wait.
I'm
You're
not excited. All
You're
I said is I laugh
No,
at people
no, you're the
who
worst
are
kind
so
of fan.
delusional about this
You'd rather
team.
be
This
right
team- I'm
than
not- I
be
don't wanna-
wrong
I don't
about
wanna
the
be
Jets.
right.
No, you
All I
do.
know is we
You
don't
get
have
off
a
on it.
quarterback.
You
That's
do.
the problem. We have no quarterback. I understand some people in this fan base actually believe that Justin Fields is the answer. He's not. He's not. He's a placeholder.
You
He's
want to
a
lose.
placeholder.
It makes you whole.
It makes me whole. What makes me whole?
Also, Boomtown. Allen gets 2 examples to disprove his point, proceeds to completely ignore them. They're going to get torched, but then you said they're not going to get blown out.
Torched in the passing game. I do. I don't think they get blown out in the game. As you said, and I agree with, the Dolphins are garbage. They are awful. But again, out of the 4 units that I look at this game, and I exclude special teams, I have more confidence in the Dolphin passing game against the Jet putrid secondary than I do with
Dylan says, Allen's all over the place. Is it defenders in the box or quarterback or coaching or the pass game? Just say go Hawkeyes and move on.
No, all I said is I think the Dolphins will stack the box. Dylan, okay. All I said is the Dolphins will throw the ball all over the Jets secondary because it's putrid. And you know it's awful.
When did your erection stop after Sunday's
My
game against Tampa?
erection. Wow, Jake, that's great.
Yeah,
all
when
I
did
said
it go
is they're
down?
losing Monday night. It's fine.
Did you contact the
I'm fine
doctor?
with
It had to
I
have been
have
more than
no
4 hours.
problem with the Jets losing, going 6-11 this year. The only problem I have with Glenn is when he basically told the Jet fans that the Jets are a win now team. He said the Jets could win now, which I thought was so misguided. And he basically lied to Jet fans. This is a full rebuild until this team finds a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback on their roster. That's the problem. And now what's worse is their defense is awful.
Is it true
That's the
your
problem.
Viagra is the
My
Jets losing?
Viagra is Jets loss. I love that, Luppy. I'm sorry. I'm just speaking honest truth. I apologize. They're going to lose Monday night.
Hey, if Zach Wilson comes in and lights up the Jets, is that going to be the happiest moment of your life?
Oh, my God. I'm going to be elated. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my God. Ridiculous. And again, no JJ. I don't know how they're generating a pass rush.
Because the Dolphins' O-line's not that good.
I understand, but the problem is the Jets have one edge guy.
Okay, well, you could blitz.
You're
You have
going to
Quinnen.
you're gonna continue to play Michael Clemens 35 snaps?
I'd rather you play than Michael
destroyed.
Clemens.
What?
I'd rather you play than Michael Clemens.
I appreciate that, Jake. Thank you very much.
Alan, I think we covered a lot of ground here. Congrats on the 4-0 start for you, rooting against, or sorry, the 3-0 start for you, rooting against the Jets. And let's
Jake,
good luck to the Dolphins on Monday.
Jake, you said the Jets going to win 6 games this year. Okay, you actually might be right this year.
But you're rooting for it.
Congratulations, Jake.
You're not a real
Jake,
fan.
What do you mean I'm not a fan? I'm honest. I hope this team wins. I root for this team.
You're too
This
giddy.
team
You're
is
not
so far away from
no way.
contention.
The first
It's
thing,
unbelievable.
Alan, the first
Find
thing you
a
said,
quarterback.
the first thing you said after Garrett Wilson signed his contract extension was not, wow, I'm surprised he signed it. I didn't think that was going to happen. Is, oh, he's not going to finish it out. He's going to request a trade. That's the first thing you say. What Jet fan says after they sign one of their young stars long term, do you then say immediately he's going to request a trade? How do you look at yourself in the mirror and claim to be a Jet fan?
Request the trade. He will. He's going to be tired of losing year after year.
Hey, if they win Monday, call in to the postgame show. I'm sure you'll be up. I'm sure you'll be calling in.
I'll call in, win or lose. I will.
Yeah.
But when I will, I never back out. Come on,
Alan. I'll tell you what. If we count moral victories, the Jets are 2-1. So suck it. I mean, the first thing he says after Garrett Wilson signs his extension, after he's been spamming my chat for 2 years, he's never going to sign here. No way. He's going to look great with Justin Herbert. He's going to look great with C.J. Stroud, his old buddy, throwing to him again, and all this typical Allen bullshit. Excuse my language, everybody. The first thing he says, oh, he's not going to finish his contract. F you, Allen. Ridiculous. No Jet fan has that take after a great moment in what has been a horrendous stretch for this franchise. They're going to trade. He's not going to finish his contract here. I mean, come on. But, Alan, congratulations. You're off to a 3-0 start. You go for 4-0 on Monday if the Dolphins could beat the Jets. Unbelievable. All right. David, you were the last entry, I believe, unless people get in. Oh, hold on. I meant to shout out. Bo C just sent me an unbelievable Venmo. Bo, I'm assuming that's your real name. So we got you in. You're accounted for. 20 more entries for Bo C. $100 Venmo going towards Tunnel to Towers. Thank you, Bo. We're playing to win this coming up shortly. Tough to see the signature on here, but I promise you it's there. CJ Mosley signs helmet. There it is. The lighting's just not great with my current setup. It's raining hard here. They're on the golf course behind me. They're trying to get this bad boy in. I'm going to try and get some food after this before I head back to the city. Anyway, let's raffle away the helmet. What I need to do right now, though, is I need a little more time to finish putting the names together because we got a lot of them. So we're going to raffle away the helmet, wrap up our show shortly. It's Jake Asman with you. Stand by. We're coming back with an Asmaniac raffle, the likes of which we have never seen before. Jake Asman with you, live from the uStadium Celebrity Golf Classic.
Hey, Robert, thanks for taking my question. With Zach starting again Sunday, does he have any compromising photos of you or someone else in the organization?
No, that's a fair question, Jake. I'm going to take the fifth on that one.
What the hell is this going backwards bullshit? You don't go backwards. You throw the ball out of bounds with your big goddamn arm, and you go back in the fucking huddle.
No, that's a fair question, Neil.
This is bullshit.
Jose Feliciano, the blind Puerto Rican guitarist, can see that he is terrible.
This kid does not want to run with the ball.
Are you kidding me? This is the shit I'm talking about. You bitch's ass. You did his ass on my damn field.
No, that's a fair question, King.
The third damn year we are seeing this in Naptown.
He's not trying to win the goddamn game.
You gotta be kidding me. Send his ass the fuck down.
I could have made 20 yards with that goddamn hole.
If your quarterback cannot play in the NFL, they get rid of him.
Oh, there's one of his 27-second throws. Oh, it's amazing. I don't give a shit.
If you cannot play football, get your ass off the field.
And look around and wipe Rodgers' ass, because that's all you're good for.
And you're sitting here defending this bullshit.
If I see Zach Wilson go on that field, me and Lowski are going out personally, and we're going to take his ass off the field.
It is torture, man.
God damn it.
All right, thanks, guys.
Andrew Fialco is on hold. So let's go to Andrew, who's up next. Hello, Andrew.
Hey, Jake. The chat keeps blowing up with these Zach Wilson truthers, so I want to show you some film on this guy to help tell the story. Okay, let's start with this pass to Garrett Wilson. Here's against the Bills. You can see if I stop it here. Zach has a clear shot at Garrett with nobody in his face. Play it forward a bit. Garrett is fighting off the defender here, but single coverage. Stopping here, you see how even a 6-year-old blind albino alligator could have thrown this in a better spot. Thank God, Garrett is a friggin' stud as he makes the catch, allowing Zach to celebrate like he helped the team win a Super Bowl. Here, Garrett tells the ref, "Hey, ref, did you see how fucking horrible that throw was and I still caught it? Disgusting." One more film breakdown here as we see Zach returning from the sideline, unable to navigate himself with any success, back to the huddle. Thankfully, his teammates were there to help him up off the ground, but unfortunately for Zach, they chose to not help him. Zach's ass had a large bruise that took a while to heal, although his mom's friend gave him some aloe to rub on the buttocks, and that helped a little. Next week, I'll have a full film breakdown of Cole Thompson's scooter crash from the combine. Thanks for having me, Jake. Gator sucks.
Oh my God. Well, thank you for that film breakdown, Andrew.
Dude.
Great job.
I was waiting. I was like, one day I've seen those before. I'm like, Gators gotta get me one on more of these. Oh, Gator. That was damn good.
Ladies and gentlemen, a Gator masterpiece there. Shout out to Andrew Fialco. We miss him on the show. As a weekly, he'll join us at some point this season, I promise. David D, I already shouted you out. You're in the raffle. One last super chat here, then I'm going to put up the wheel champions. Marvin checks in. We should easily be 2-1. Allen preying on our downfall. Yes, we are trash, but the Dolphins are a disappointment too. Tua is playing for his career too. Correct. And put pressure on Tua. He can come out of the game. And let's destroy Zach Wilson, although I think we all would be a little scared of him beating the Jets because of same old Jets karma, but It's a winnable game, man. If Aaron Glenn wants to talk that talk, beat a division opponent that's reeling on Monday Night Football, period. Right now, let's give away a signed CJ Mosley helmet. Here we go.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First, I just want to thank everyone who sent in a Venmo, gifted a membership, super chat. We raised a ton of money this morning for an unbelievable cause, Tunnel to the Towers. Thank you to CJ Mosley for being a part of our show today, signing this helmet for us. So proceeds are going to an unbelievable cause as we're broadcasting from uStadium's Charity Classic here in Westchester. Again, good luck to everyone. And if you don't win, know that your money's going towards a great cause, and you are entered in our weekly raffle next Tuesday that features a signed CJ Mosley jersey, a signed Bart Scott jersey, and a jersey that's signed by each member of the legendary New York Sack Exchange. But there only could be one winner. Let's find out who's going to win a CJ helmet right now. The winner is Asmaniac listener Rick Kent. The great Rick Kent, a legend, is your winner of the prestigious CJ Mosley signed helmet. Let's go. Give it up for our guy Rick for coming through for the people. That's awesome. Congrats to Rick. Rick, I got your address, so I know exactly where to send it. Congrats to Rick. Thanks to everyone who supported the show. Rick, this Jet Chant, this is for you. A legendary Rick Kent raffle win. Awesome. Again, thanks to everyone for your support. Rick's going to win this helmet, but we're all winners here because despite the Jets being bad, we got the best community. On that note, that does it for me. I want to thank Frankie V and everyone here at uStadium, Nick behind the scenes. I want to thank the awesome people here at the country club we're at, Harrison Meadows Country Club in Westchester. Thanks again to CJ Mosley, Frankie V for coming on as a guest, Ryan Sampson, everyone who called in, all the donations, super chats, Venmos, however you support the show and supported the cause today means a lot. We will have a second stream this afternoon. Probably will be around 4:30 or 5 with Dylan Terriman. So be on the lookout for that. We'll talk more about what Glenn said. I'm going to go back and listen to his full press conference and kind of pick up on anything we might have missed. And we'll talk more about Justin Fields' status going into this game on Monday night. I think he's going to play, but we'll have a better idea, I'm sure, this afternoon. On that note, again, thank you to everyone for your support. Thank you to everyone who donated, man. Awesome cause. Always great when we get a chance to do these things. We raised a ton of money for Marty Lyons Foundation. Now we're doing Tunnel to the Towers here with CJ Mosley. So very cool to partner up with Jet Legends and do it for a great cause. So I will talk to you guys this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Go Jets, everybody.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.